and it's disingenuous. Wow.
And we're here.
Yes, we are. You know what?
Yeah.
And since we started at 11, I'm just going to kick off with the intro now. That's right. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing that. Welcome, everybody, to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man, SPJ.
You.
And I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective.
Facts.
Underline that part. Facts indeed. Now, damn it. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot we're going to go into today. I am fairly certain some of you who have been interested in that have already watched a bunch of content on this topic. It's still topic de jour. If you do a search on any social media platform, you're going to find that that's at least top 10 search result or talking thing, right?
Yeah.
So it usually takes us, we usually don't get right as it's happening, time to conversate because we do our shit once a week,
right,
on Saturday. But I like to think that benefits us. It may don't benefit us in the algorithm, but it benefits our commentary.
Yeah.
Because we get a chance to hear all these other takes. We already have ours, so we're just filtering it with other lines of reasoning on it, as well as hearing the opposition viewpoint to see if there's any merit to it. And it informs how we talk about it on the show. It's not in a vacuum, right? And it's also not knee-jerk. As soon as we heard it, bam, we giving you this take without, we get a chance to look at it, and at least a week to mull over it, get as much data as we can. Then we come here and we let you guys know what we think about it. SBJ will be the first one to tell you I am an obstinate nigga when it comes to some shit, right? I am. Look, right is right, wrong is wrong. There can be nuance at times, but a lot of the times people are abusing the idea of nuance to try to fit in some bullshit, right? And those things have to be addressed. They have to be factored in. They have to be examined under a fine-tooth comb. They do, because it speaks a lot to more than just that topic. It speaks about the people that accept certain shit, why you accept it, why you thought that was cool to do, and what you yourself may be liable to do in a similar situation, right? So also whether or not you're speaking in good faith.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we know that there are many of you, when I say you, I mean the general public, not necessarily our audience, right? Who act in bad faith. You're bad faith actors. You are. Absolutely. You are. Certain things that you would accept from certain people because of celebrity. There's an inordinate amount of celebrity glazing that you yourself would not do. You would feel funny doing that shit in real life. But you're glazing. You're glazing. Putting that fine shine and shellac on some shit. Glazing glizzies. That's what a lot of y'all specializing in doing that today.
Facts.
You do. You glaze it. And look, I'm not here to kink shame. But what I will tell you, but what I will tell you is, it still looks weird. It looks weird. It looks really bad.
Yeah,
it does. And every time I see it, what up, Biddy? Sean P. Every time I see it, it reminds me of what Loki said. And how just poignant the MCU is with certain themes that they use. You were made to be ruled. All somebody got to do is be elevated in any particular genre of life and start getting praise heaped upon him or her. Maybe the specific thing that the person does is something that you like a lot. That's all it takes. And y'all throwing palms at their feet, talk about Hosanna, Hosanna to the highest. Y'all do. It's cringe. It is. And the only reason you can't tell it's cringe, because you're in with the crowd doing it too. So everybody's doing it. This can't be cringe. How could this be cringe? Nah, this ain't cringe. Look, all of us doing it. But all of us ain't doing it. There's a segment of us that's not doing it. And we're looking at y'all. You know how they laugh because they look and laugh because you're different? We're laughing because you're all the same. You're all the same. It's funny to us. Damn, they all got the same white tee on. They all got the same tennis shoes, pants and shit. All their hair look the same. That's what y'all look like, especially in this case. But thankfully, that spell, at least in one part of this, is diminishing rapidly. And that's kind of, what we're going to talk about today because we plotted for a week and fed you the litigation. Woo.
Bruh. So, what up, Jason?
What up?
So, unless you've been under a rock this past week, then you're aware that Drake has been doing he's been doing some legal stuff. And no, we're not calling him an upstanding citizen.
No, it's not.
No, I'm saying that. Well, let's just get into it. So first of all, I will provide some clarity, and then we're gonna get into these reactions, and then we're gonna give our overall takes. So, for clarity, Drake dropped back to back, not songs. Legal motions. So neither of them are actually lawsuits. What they are is they are petitions for Universal Music Group to give Drake the information that he needs to file a RICO case and a defamation case against them. One of the things is based on an academic stream, where some anonymous rando claimed that he was paid to use bots to get Not Like Us to like 30 million streams off the break, so that it would jumpstart the numbers. The problem with this being the source for one of these potential lawsuits is not only did academics question the motherfucker immediately when he said that, but on top of that, the guy provided proof. And shortly after the academics video, the proof that the guy provided was proven to be false. Another thing with this potential lawsuit is basically saying that UMG conspired, and then other people are named in these situations, like Apple and Spotify and iHeartRadio. So another thing that they're using as proof is a video that guy Jeremy Hecht, he works for Hip Hop DX. He made a video right shortly after Not Like Us came out, and when he showed him asking Siri to play Certified Lover Boy. For those who don't know, Certified Lover Boy is the name of a Drake album. And
Drake?
When you ask Siri to play Certified Lover Boy, Not Like Us started playing. So they're using that as more evidence of tampering. The problem is, if you don't press stop on that video, it goes on to show you and explain that the reason that could happen is because Siri will give you album titles, song titles, and song lyrics.
Yes.
The words Certified Lover Boy are in the song Not Like Us.
The very popular and many times
more recent
song and more recent song. Yes.
So, yes, that is why that was happening. Again, if you don't press stop on the video, he explains that part. So I just don't really understand. But anyway, whatever. So the petition also claims that streaming is a zero-sum game, and that every stream of Not Like Us stops Drake from getting a stream. Which everybody who understands anything would know that that's not how that works. That's simply not how that works. Except outside of the most technical of ways. Right. Yes, technically, if I'm streaming Not Like Us, I cannot be streaming
Drake stuff at the same time.
But that is also true for every other song that has ever existed on streaming platforms.
In the history of streaming.
In the history of streaming or music or platforms.
Period. The only time I can play two shit together is if I'm a DJ.
Two different stream.
I'm a DJ and I got two.
Yeah. You know. So, like, what are you... Anyway, Kendrick Lamar Duckworth is not named as a defendant in either of these situations. His only presence is a claim that UMG told Drake to sue him instead of them, and that if he did sue Kendrick, that they may jump in and help with that.
Who may help? Who they going to help?
Drake. Right. Because the idea is, well, I'll get to that. So several lawyers have weighed in on this, and they said they don't think any of this will actually make it to court, even if Drake decides to move forward. And a part of that is because of how hard it is to prove defamation.
Yep.
More on that later. I have this article real quick that explains some of that. Drake's taking goddamn pop-ups. Rolling Stone. Get out of my face with the ads, my guy.
Well, Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Shut up. No. All right. Drake's taking the Kendrick Lamar beef. Oh, nah, it's a paywall. Never mind. Not reading that shit.
Oh, their ass.
Nah, it is what it is. I don't need it. So on to
stop doing that too.
On to the reactions. So it started on November 25th. Drake has initiated legal action against Universal Music Group and Spotify over allegations that two companies conspired to artificially inflate the popularity of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Oh, by the way, these two different petitions happened on back-to-back days. So some of this commentary is going to sound weird because some of it is people not actually knowing what they're talking about. Yes. But ending up being more right than they were at first.
Right.
And then some of it is just going to be out of order because of how all of that works and blah, 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 blah. All right, so first person. I feel like this confirms Drake sent that cease and desist to Future to stop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so in a court of law, it wouldn't confirm it.
No, it wouldn't.
But now we have reasonable doubt.
Now you set a precedent. What we know you'll do is you'll file. You'll file, nigga. We know you'll file.
Thanks. Next person is a screenshot of the lyrics for I think it was Family Matters when Drake says a cease and desist is for hoes. Interesting. The next one, DJ Head. Says when people show you who they are, believe them. Come on stage. Not even to be all think piece Twitter, but Drake filing a lawsuit feels like he don't understand Black culture. Like, how could you not understand this? How this would be perceived? Yeah. Next person. The lawsuit gonna backfire when UMG exposes how Drake has benefited from payola, bots, massive playlisting, etc. I can't wait. All right. That's one that's going to be recurring in this whole thing.
Yeah.
The next one is the title. That's where I got the title for this show. We plotted for a week and then fed you the litigation. Yeah. That is a play on in Heart Part 6, the fake one. Drake said we plotted for a week and then fed you the information.
So how are you? How are you?
Yeah.
Suing. We got you. We see you.
Next one. Also, that suit confirms something that I've been thinking about a lot. Drake and Trump's fan bases have a lot of similar traits, and their leaders' obsession with wanting to be seen as a winner or as a victim of a corrupt system when it's convenient for them is very telling.
Basically, what they're saying is Trump has benefited from the system his whole life. His whole life. But the moment he got to try to get into a position of power and didn't go his way, he immediately blames the system, and now he's a victim.
Yep.
It's funny because a lot of the people that follow his every word are quick to downplay the victimization of others.
Mm-hmm.
But in his case, they're all for it. This is like with Drake's shit. If you listen to the way people talked before that beef, some of the same things that they held in high regard for Drake now applies to Kendrick, but they won't be consistent in saying, well, now he's nope.
Next, this is the most white man reaction to a beef I've ever seen. Next, Drake suing UMG and Spotify is not. What is that? Oh, Drake suing UMG and Spotify is not skim, bitch. It's not low fat. It's 100% grade A whole bitch.
Hold on, let me read this from Discord. He says every paywall prevents thousands, if not millions, of people from viewing content. When are these news people going to learn? And when Google News stop putting up with paywall? See, this is my thing, Discord. I agree with you. I hate the shit. I think it's dumb. There's other ways you motherfuckers could monetize other than that. What I will say is this is one of the reasons why I have forsaken a lot of these other media outlets for stories. I go to Reuters or AP.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in any opinion mixed with what happened. And I find myself being way more informed with less of the talking point drivel, right? Because they're giving me, this is what happened. They don't have personalities on the AP, Associated Press, no personalities. They're literally just telling you, yo, over here, such, there was a landslide and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. Oh, damn, that's crazy. Oh, yo, over here, they had a ceasefire with and these two people are talking and blah, blah, blah. And oh, cool. There is no personalities over there vying for branding. You know, it's none of that. It's they're giving me what they have, and I appreciate that more.
Yeah. Next person, Drake is alleging that UMG, the same label he's been bragging about being in a $500 million deal with, is trying to take him down, and we're propping up Not Like Us against him with bots, and then fired the employees who were Drake fans. Next, diabolical that he cut his braids off before he sued.
Yeah,
Nigga say I'm going all the way white on this.
Yeah.
Somebody else says Euphoria sound even crazier today. That's facts. Next person, bro's going out so sad. The funniest thing about this is that no artist in the history of music has gotten the most push from a label and streaming services than Drake.
Hold up, to Steelman that Drake at his peak, even Drake at his non-peak, like you used to go on Spotify or any streaming services and shit, and just see his face.
Yeah,
just see his face, even with shit that don't have really nothing to do with the style of music he make or whatever. You see his fucking face. Yeah. That's not happening by accident, by the way, folks.
No. That's not how that works.
Nah.
Next one, shit is going to be hilarious when they conclude their investigation and find there was no number juicing. No, the whole world danced 1 billion times to you getting your ass beat on that biggest. Next, imagine if Jay-Z tried to sue Sony over Nas dropping Ether.
Tabo ho.
Next, this is a hilarious source to cite in an official lawsuit. It's in reference to the academics video.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Next, if there was one rapper that would call the police after losing a battle, it was always going to be Drake.
We're going to talk about that. I love the way they put that because,
Next, really all Drake had to do was take a sabbatical and come back in 2025 with heat. He would have been fine. He could have just laid low and smashed big booty women and gambled to his heart's content until after the Super Bowl and been fine. This is wild. Bomani Jones.
To Steelman that point, I was thinking this just the other day. I said, yo, if I had Drake money, You know, I watch a lot of travel videos, a lot of travel content. I'm seeing places, yo, that this nigga could have said, man, fuck this shit. I'm getting on my private plane and I'm going someplace where there's palm trees, waves, pretty girls, and sand and Mai Tais.
Right.
And I'm sitting my ass down here, get all my calls sent here, and I'm chilling for the next few months.
Yeah.
While I'm here, depending on where I'm at, I may make a song, record it here. We might even record a little bullshit video here just to, and then after the Super Bowl, I'm going to decide what I'm going to do next. I'm going to have some heat for y'all or whatever. Right? There was a bunch of options you had other than doing the shit you've been doing for the last, 6 months now?
Yeah.
It's a lot of options other than that shit.
Facts. Bamani Jones says, this is the most persistent L of all time. It's a 6-month long L. And the L isn't just sitting there. It somehow manages to get worse and worse through cell phones. That's pretty funny, you know. Next person, somebody rap goat just called the feds instead of taking it back to the booth. Not mine though. Y'all be easy.
Yo, I saw that. I saw that one. That is probably one of the best. That one right there, I relate to specifically more than a lot of the ones I've seen. And a lot of them other ones is dope. But that one right there, somebody go. Just not mine though. Y'all's. y'all go.
Drake trolled and begged for Kendrick to get in the ring and got his ass handed to him. Now he went back in the house and dialed 911.
It reminds me of a situation that happened a long time ago in my neighborhood where a dude robbed another dude across the street from my house. He didn't bother to check to see if the dude had a gun on him. The dude did. So after the dude handed him the drugs, the guy turned around to walk away, and the dude pulled the gun out of the small of his back and papped him in the ass and in the back and in the thigh. Dude hits the ground. The other dude runs, gets away. Then when the police come, the dude who robbed the dude who just shot him, press charges.
Yeah. Things are stupid sometimes.
Weirdo.
So this next one, my favorite bit of reporting when this came from The Independent, where the executive board from UMG basically told Drake, "You ain't here yelling at us when you need to go be focusing on your energy on the real problem." That's hilarious. Let me see this next one. What up, Cindy?
What up, Cindy? Look, we see you. Right here. We see you.
This next one, this lawsuit isn't about music. It's about legacy, or rather, the lack of one. It's a public confession that Drake fears the future because it no longer has his name written on it. Yeah. And the irony, he's not even wrong. Not Like Us is exactly that, a line drawn in the sand. On one side, artists who push boundaries and dare you to follow them into uncharted territories. On the other, the Toronto hedonist who repeat himself until the carefully constructed synergy of Toronto, patois, and UK accent fades into irrelevance.
Right.
The beginning of the end of Drake's career didn't start at Not Like That or Not Like Us. It didn't start at 100 gigs flopping or the release of GNX. It started today.
Right.
That's an interesting take. I ain't really got a rebuttal for it. There's this string of tweets that just so had, because this how the algorithm be algorithm, and not from me. Somebody took a screenshot, and the list of the string of tweets like next to each other is Van Lathan. Why would Drake do this? Somebody else. Drake trying to sue Dot. Meanwhile, ain't paid out for my settlement for stealing rich baby daddy.
Oh,
I'm tired of this nigga. Next is we plotted for a week and then fed you to litigation. And then the last one, Kendrick definitely figured out what happened to that boy. That's funny. More on that in a little bit. Next, Indian people were making Not Like Us remixes at their weddings, and Drake thinks bots were involved. Hilarious. I'm going to go stream Not Like Us on Spotify just out of principle. Facts. I get it. So let me get this straight. Drake is balding, talking about other people, insulting athletes courtside because they are in a music video, threatening violence to streamers because they like K-Dot, attempting to sue a label over a diss record, but he is unbothered. I mean,
he has to be the most bothered in there's bothered, then there's Drake.
Facts. La Russell, for those who don't know, he's an independent artist from the West Coast. Just simply yelled, "Get in the booth."
I mean, that right there, get in the booth. Those are 4 words that, for people in the culture that participate in the culture, not just spectate, but participate, that is a call or a cry for war.
Yeah.
Get in the booth. That's literally the cure. 95% of the things that ails a lot of these rappers. Get in the booth. You got a problem with this man over here? Get in the booth.
Yep.
Your record company did some stupid shit? Get in the booth.
Yep.
You trying to make some money? You feel like the crowd ain't really fucking with you? Get in the booth.
Facts. All facts. Next, mind you, he didn't. Well, again, this was the first. This was after the first day, before the second petition hit. Mind you, he didn't sue for defamation about the pedo allegations, but he sued for streams.
Mm-hmm.
Next, imagine losing a rap beef so badly that you sue. Next, I'm reading this entire paperwork, man. That's from Rob Markman, OG in the game.
It's nasty work.
It is. At this rate, Drake will perform at the inauguration. Yo! Next, he cut his hair, went on a platinum blonde white man stream, and said rap was in a weird place. Then he sued niggas over a song. I mean, that's the timeline of events. It did happen that way.
That's not even commentary. Like that's
exactly what happened.
Play. That's play by play. What he did. What he did. Rappers in the weird. I can't even do his voice. Rappers in the weird place right now.
For you, I mean, so he didn't lie. For him,
thought he was rap, yo.
I mean, sure. But
he had good reason to think that.
Yeah, there's honesty in what he's saying, but only from his perspective.
Yes.
So
yes, rap is in a weird place
for you.
Like for the rest of us, is where it kind of supposed to be. Especially when shit like this takes place. This is exactly what's supposed. The shit you did is the shit that's weird.
Right.
Like rap, hip hop, and rap was right here, B. And as long as you was here with it, when you was going back and forth with Kendrick, you were more aligned with it.
Yeah.
The moment you did that goofy shit you just pulled, you start getting unaligned with the rest of the shit. So the perspective is from you, damn, why rap all the way over there? Rap didn't move. Rap didn't move.
No.
You moved.
Yeah.
You moved.
So next, UMG, which distributes Drake's music, has responded. Quote,
fuck out of here, nigga.
I mean, they might as well have. Quote, no amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans choose the music they want to hear. End quote.
They basically said, don't get mad, nigga, get fresh.
Facts.
Just get fresh.
Next, trying to bully someone who ends up being a bigger bully gotta be a crazy feeling.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You know what it is? You can't bully him.
Not the way that you think.
You can't bully him.
I don't even think you can bully him. I think you can. The closest you can do is extort.
The story is Puffy tried, yo.
Yeah, and that didn't work out well for him.
No, thanks to Cole.
Yeah, I Jamie from J. Cole.
Yeah.
Speaking of J. Cole somewhere writing the verse I really don't want to hear. That's hilarious.
Yo, that is some of the funniest.
That is hilarious.
Yo, and here's the thing. He's not saying he don't want to hear it because it ain't going to be nice.
It ain't about Cole.
It has nothing to do with you. You had your chance to be writing verses on this topic or dropping lines on this topic. You was right there. And you chose to go at Kendrick first. Yeah. This was supposed to be a triple threat match.
Yeah.
This was not supposed to be a 2-on-1 in the first place. Yeah. You went and jumped on Kenny. You could have kicked both these niggas' backs in with that verse. Right. You could have went at both of them. Like, fuck it. Triple threat match. Fuck it.
Fix. So next.
Yo, Discord said fans can't listen to me if they are listening to K-Dot. Sounds hilarious.
Next, this goes back to that Mos Def interview. We're going to get more on that in a little bit. I refuse to believe that a rapper filed a lawsuit about a song getting spins. That is unreal to me.
Believe it.
It's what happened.
It's what happened.
That's funny. His tag is old head energy. So, yeah.
Oh, we're going to get into all of that.
I need people to understand what they're witnessing. Not Like Us is officially the hardest diss track in the history of our culture. Not The Bridge Is Over, not No Vaseline, not Takeover, not Ether. None of those ended with hurt feelings culminating in a lawsuit.
No.
I mean,
listen, if we're talking strictly results, because people get into the weeds about lyrical,
and that's fine, but
we're talking strictly like the impact.
This different.
No, this song ever had the impact. No, there's not a single one.
No, this real different.
And those of you that glazed your mans this whole time, now that he did this, we looking at you, T. But go ahead. Go ahead. We're looking at you, T.
Next person. DMX was right. Hey.
Yo, I in my thoughts, I mentioned DMX. Like, yo, listen.
Next, Euphoria is playing out in front of us in real time. Facts. Next, if you didn't think Drake was a bitch before, there's absolutely no doubt now.
If you didn't think he was a bitch before, that's because you were. You can't recognize. You can't. We're gonna get into that.
What Kendrick just say? Bitch with him, got some bitch in him. That's a lot of bitch. Hey. Next, I'm sat here in absolute disbelief. Drake, one of the biggest artists in music history, is trying to sue a podcast where two hip-hop nerds yell at each other because they covered a diss track. Nobody's ever going to let this go.
Oh, no. See, the only thing that you're going to see is a bit of sane washing with this from his side. Yeah. The people that are so infatuated with this nigga that he's now Drake Guevara now.
Right.
The way they're talking about, this is for the greater. Oh, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that.
That's coming up. Next person. Now Drake is officially done. Wow. They're going to blackball his ass. Why would Spotify inflate the numbers knowing they got to pay out the numbers they've inflated?
This is a question that I've asked too. That's a question I asked too. Why would they pay more?
We won't get to that if I remember. Because, yeah, that's another part of the lawsuit that doesn't really make sense. And it proves... Actually, let me do that right now before I forget. Mm-hmm. So, what these petitions are, in my opinion, I am not a lawyer. I ain't never studied law.
With a grain of salt.
Yeah. But I know that when a thing happens and it involves things that I'm not super familiar with, I seek those who are.
Right.
And I listen to a group of them and see what the consensus seems to be. And then I form my opinion.
Right.
So, based on me listening to lawyers talk about this.
Because we respect expertise over here.
Oh, nigga. Based on me listening to lawyers talk about this, based on me listening to people in the music industry talk about this, and based on me knowing how the distributors and DSPs work to a degree, this is a witch hunt.
Yeah.
The entire purpose of this is to get UMG to settle with Drake.
Yep.
Because apparently he's trying to renegotiate his contract with them.
Yep.
And in the meantime, if he can put some smut on Kendrick's name, all better for it. Because again, Kendrick is not being attacked in either of these petitions. He would not be, if these petitions go through to trial, he would not be the one that is a defendant in either of the cases.
No, but he's trying to indirectly. This is, again, some passive-aggressive bullshit.
Yes.
He's trying to indirectly hit Kendrick while he's doing this bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So the things that are alleged, not all of them, because I have not and will not read those entire petitions because it's a lot of reading.
Of course.
But from the things that I've heard about in the petition so far, the guy that said that there were bots, well, if you listen to the whole video and you look at the proof that the motherfucker gave, that was debunked, right? So that's one of your bases.
Also, nobody's giving you points on a song.
Yeah, you don't get points. Producers fight to get points on the song. You a botter and you think you're going to get
You're
points,
not getting any of the splits,
several points?
That's insane.
Yeah.
The fact that he said that, and Ack, who's supposed to be so well informed about the music industry, let that shit rock and didn't push back. That's because you couldn't see through the glaze. You couldn't see through the glaze.
So that was that. Then another basis of the petitions is the what was that? The Apple Music Siri thing, which again was debunked in the same exact video.
Same video that they're clipping up to try to. The fact that y'all got to clip it up shows two things. It shows that you're being disingenuous, or you're really that dumb where you didn't understand what the fuck was happening in that video. You only understood the part that you wanted it to be, and was like, oh, there we go.
Facts. Another basis for the petitions is how do I say this one? Another basis for the petitions is this idea that UMG accepted 30% cut or something like that to give Spotify for them to. The problem with that one is that's a feature in Spotify. It's called Discover.
Yeah.
The Spotify Discover feature will push your record in exchange for 30% of the income for those streams. Yeah. That is a well-known feature for Spotify. That is not anything special.
This shit may not even make it to court.
Right. Another basis is the whole UMG specifically promoting Not Like Us instead of Drake's songs. Well, that's just how the music industry works. No record ever makes it to being a huge hit record without being pushed. That's not how that works.
And might I add, one of the reasons that I absolutely hate streaming services and DSPs in general is because of the fact that record companies own portions of that. So for you to think that wouldn't be part of their deal, of their partnership, of their whatever is insane. Yeah. That's insane for you to think. And also equally insane, probably more insane, is to think that Drake himself didn't benefit from these same fucking tactics.
Yeah, there's no way in the world. That's not how the world works. But anyway, all right, back to this. I think we should take Not Like Us back to number one just to be funny. More on that in a little bit. I would dead-ass throw away my Rockaway leather jacket in 2002 if Jay-Z took Nas to court over Ether.
Yeah, facts. I feel that.
The next person said, drop, stop, cops. Next person, don't put Drake in no more crap conversations. I'm so serious. He's a Jewish pop star now, and just that. Yikes. Suing another rapper is not very hip-hop. It only reinforces the Not Like Us allegations. But if you were going to sue, why not sue for defamation? Again, this is before the second day. The second day is when the defamation stuff came out. But if you were going to sue, why not sue for defamation? That would have been understandable. He called you a PDF file, and your main concern is the stream numbers. This is a bad look. Again, more on that later. Next, this nigga suing is 100,000% worse than J. Cole apologizing, by the way. Doesn't matter how you slice it. More on that later. Kendrick made one nigga sue and made one nigga quit. They said they were his peers. Wow. Yikes.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Next, J. Cole let out a sigh of relief knowing that apologizing is officially not the lamest thing someone has done during a rap beef. Next, Euphoria aging like a black woman. Facts.
That's a fact.
Next, all Drake had to do was go on a long overdue hiatus and come back with some heat. That's it.
We just said that.
Yeah. Next, first Wayne, now Drake. Young Money alumni going out sad. Somehow Tiger looking at
it. Stop. It's not first. It's not first Lil Wayne, Drake. No. This going out bad started with Nicki.
Yeah. For years.
Yeah.
It's all them niggas. Again, except Tiger had the thing with he was dating Kylie before she was before she was of age.
Got a weird case. Wow,
you got a weird case. So all them Young Money niggas, like except for like Glasses Malone and Jay Mills.
Yep.
Outside of them two. Next person. Next person quoted a tweet. The original tweet said, "Just curious, but what's worse, backing out with an apology or suing after the battle is over?" The person who quote tweeted it said, "Yes."
Cindy said he's probably afraid that defamation accusations would horribly backfire.
We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that.
So another funny one. Quote, Drake says there's a song calling you gay, deadbeat, pedophile, running a sex trafficking ring with 500 million streams on Spotify. Drake's response, it does not have 500 million streams.
That's hilarious.
Next. Also, my thing is, let's say they discover UMG has some illegal practices going on. Doesn't that open up a can of worms for your numbers to also be put under the same microscope, considering you literally signed the UMG and they gave you $500 million?
It does.
Yeah.
Who else they get? Who else they get $500 million to in your lane?
I don't know nothing about that. I ain't heard it.
Who?
Here is Jeremy Hecht, the guy with the that made the Siri video, and he posts the whole video and he makes a caption. Drake used my video in his pre-action lawsuit against UMG. I made a video showing that Siri was taking you to Not Like Us when you asked to play Certified Lover Boy. On Spotify, I later showed this was because of lyric recognition, but they didn't include that part.
Of course not. And by the way, the fact all he did was really hurt his case with that, because when they start to really dive into it, they're gonna see him being disingenuous. They're gonna see them taking small portions of shit to be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
And that's instantly going to erode any strength in his case, because they're gonna be like, bro, this was easy. All you had to do was keep watching the video and you would have got the entire context. You purposely either stopped there or you knew that the rest of it disproved what the fuck you were talking about. So you purposely try to defraud us with this bullshit.
The crazy thing about this is, it seems as if for anybody who number one is very important, who cares.
Yes.
Because there are people who don't care about this.
That's true.
There are people who's just like, all right, I like his music. I don't care about this other shit. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That's absolutely fine. If
I'm
you
talk about you too,
not defending, like if
I know.
Defending him. No, as long as you're not defending him.
As long as I just like the music. I don't really care about the other shit that's happening.
Go ahead and have your fun. Listen to your music, because that's what music is supposed to be for. Right. But once you go a step further than that,
start defending this nigga. So
once
you whip the glizzy out and start glazing,
anybody who has the integrity, it seems like there are just layers being constantly stripped from the veneer of this nigga. Like, so first the African American thing. You're not African American.
No.
However, you have taken on this amalgamation of stereotypes that you associate with African Americans.
Yep.
But then even stuff like this, like, you are a millennial. Why is it that you don't understand these very simple, like,
sheltered life?
Right. So it's like, it's just layers and layers being peeled back.
Let me give some advice to people like him, like Drake. If you happen to be in a situation, because nobody controls who brought them in this world, if you happen to be in a situation where you are of mixed ethnic heritage, it's particularly half black, there are ways to learn how to more appropriately identify with that ethnicity.
Right.
Go to the African American Museum in DC. Go study about the history of African Americans in this country and before we even came here.
Yeah.
Go to an African studies course. Really find a way, especially if you weren't raised in our community because of happenstance, where you may have a black parent, but you wasn't raised by that black parent. You was raised by the other parent, and you really are interested. What you don't do is you don't take the stereotype and then say, "Oh, that's my identity," and then stop there and not go to learn anything else about that side of you. Because what that shows us, what it makes us think, our perception is, you don't prioritize the importance of that part of your ethnic heritage in no way. So then why should you be benefiting off of it to this degree?
Tell them run to America to imitate heritage. They can't imitate this violence. I mean, the prophet Kendrick Duckworth, Lamar Duckworth is yeah. So next, Drake stands acting like Drake suing in order to fight for the good fight against capitalism is so funny, bro. More on that later. More on that later. So this person quote tweets somebody else. The original tweet says, saying it's Drake's mom's side coming out in regards to litigation is annoying me. You wanted him to go get his gun, huh? Now, the quote tweet says, insinuating that the black side would go to would be to get a gun instead of retorting with more music is something as well.
Yo, it's more than something. What it is revealing.
Yes.
What you think, because that's not the case.
That's not what anybody said. When it comes
to hip hop.
It's not what anybody's saying. It's not the argument.
Get in the booth. Get in the booth.
Thanks. All facts. Next one. DMX was right. Mos Def was right. Joe Budden was right. Pusha T was right. Kendrick Lamar was right. Mm-hmm. I mean, niggas calling human resources in hip hop. That is hilarious. Somebody, next one. So for those who don't know, a lot of rappers, they have their thing, their thing that like is a consistent thing, a relatively consistent thing that they release or a style that they use or blah, 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 blah. Right. Kendrick has the Heart series. Right. He's up to number 6 now. Mad Skills at first and now Uncle Murder has the yearly wrap up that they do every year talking about everything that happened and whatnot. Jay-Z has his Blueprint series. Drake has timestamp records.
Drake?
So I don't actually know the names of any of them, but like what is it, 6 a.m. in Calabasas and 9 p.m. in Chicago or something like I can't remember. I can't match the times with the places, but that's the thing. And on those, he raps.
Right.
So that's one of his things. Somebody said New Drake, 8 a.m. in the courthouse. Nigga. Next, Maul tweeted that petition has nothing to do with the battle. It has everything to do with the business, but it's cool to hate Drake these days, I guess. The person quote tweeted Maul and said, I remember the idea of you suing another podcaster over business was brought up, and you thought that was sucker shit. Now here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Well, first of all, nobody should take anything Mallory says seriously, and I'm gonna tell you why. He already went above and beyond showing what pocket he's in when it comes to this. He is not a non-biased media person. That's not what he is. Yeah. He is literally in camp OVO, right? And because of that, you can't take some of the takes he's had has been so over the top in defense of Drake that nothing he says after that is of any value. As far as
it's can't take him serious. I
can take academic more seriously.
Yeah, actually, about because academics will criticize Drake.
He will criticize and he will have some actual analysis before he gets back to blazing.
Absolutely.
You know,
Maul is just like, you're compromised completely.
Yeah.
I can't listen to you on any Drake topic. Anything I do with Drake, I can't take you seriously.
Right.
Next person, the worst, and I mean the worst, lost in hip hop history. Next person, R.B. Graham and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad year.
Yo.
Headshot for the year. You better walk around like Daft Punk.
Yo. With that one.
Next, one thing Drake ain't did was speak on Serena. That's facts. He ain't say shit about Serena since Kendrick said not to.
I know.
This whole thing hilarious when you remember Pusha T told y'all UMG was inflating Drake's numbers years ago.
He did.
Funny part is the music industry is absolutely fueled by bots and payola. However, we could find out that Lucien Grange himself pressed a button to give Kendrick 1 billion streams, and that still wouldn't change the outcome of the battle. Facts.
It wouldn't. I don't know why people keep thinking this goofy shit.
I'll tell you why. It is a splintering and evolution of the culture. It is the people that still feel like wins and losses matter. As far as this type of stuff, but have been their DNA has been spliced with the newfangled numbers matter thing.
Yeah, you're right about that.
It's that combination. Yeah,
that's a pretty
because I get it. I get why you would feel that way because of what the narrative is around numbers nowadays.
Yeah, and it's new record sales.
Yeah, because back then it was less important what the number of sales was and then the status. So you went gold.
Yes.
You went platinum.
Yes.
That is what mattered. The number, the average person didn't know the actual number.
The average person didn't know that gold is 500,000 copies.
Right.
And platinum is 1 million.
The average person didn't know that shit.
Right.
So, and then on top of that, none of that ever really mattered when it came to diss tracks.
Right.
Nobody was ever talking about it.
It wasn't.
This is actually I never pronounced this right. Ouroboros? Yes, because Drake is the one who started this issue.
Right.
Before Back to Back, nobody was really talking about stream numbers for diss songs.
Right.
But when Back to Back came out and it did what it did, it's like, oh, this is a thing being introduced into the new wave of what hip hop beef is, and blah blah this, blah blah.
And then also depending on the content of the diss, the vast majority of the times, diss songs weren't the ones that
they wouldn't have been able
play in
to
the club,
right?
Like it wouldn't have been that. These were things that DJs was playing,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But
the back happened to be one that you could actually still play in the club.
Yes.
And it was still just as effective against the opponent that it was against.
Actually, that made it even more effective.
It made it more effective.
I think this is the thing that people are leaving out of the conversation when they want to try to downplay the impact of Not Like Us.
Yeah.
Because not only was it a bop, not only that, but it was also profitable. It was also playable in various situations. It also took pop culture by storm. They ain't all the bots. You can try that shit if you want.
Yeah.
Then you can try it if you want, but it ain't all. You don't have enough bots to make something be this organic.
Yeah.
What up, Mike?
Big Mike.
Mike said Drake took his career and went full Usher. Let it burn, let it burn.
That's funny. So next, Justin Hunt says, Siri, play Not Like Us for the 4,080th time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next person, the narrative that Drake is now anti-corporate and fighting the man is hilarious. Now I see why Trump did so well with Gen Z men.
Yo, like I said before, we're going to get into
all
of that.
Next person, it's official. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar is the greatest diss track of all time. A diss that made the highest selling rapper of all time sue the same label that handed him $500 million.
Yeah. Yo, can we talk about that part? They gave you $500 million. Now, did you have to work your ass off like a hooker afterwards to get it? But the touring, that's why he was constantly on tour and shit like that. Yeah, absolutely. But they gave you $500 million. If somebody gives me $500 million.
For clarity, and this isn't going to change anything.
Right.
I think it's actually $400 million.
Yeah, but it's close. It's so close.
Listen, it don't even really matter.
If you give me $300 million, I'm going on tour for 3-4 years. Yup. So I don't want to hear that. You were the darling baby boy. Every time I turned around, especially after you got the beard, your face was everywhere. And you made them money and they gave you money. And now you Che Guevara? Now? Nah. No. I can't hear you. Cindy said, for that much money, I'd play the diss track against me at the beginning of every one of my shows. These are facts.
Yo. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so next one is that's that rapper, West Coast. That man can't call nobody a fragile app ever again in his life.
Nah, that's dead.
Oh, my bad. On the last tweet, I have a little teaser. I have no idea when it's going to be out. I've written most of the script. I have not recorded a single second of it, a video. Reread this last tweet. It's official. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar is the greatest diss track of all time. A diss that made the highest selling rapper of all time sued the same label that had them $500 million. Highest selling rapper of all time. We'll get into that because that's semantics.
Yes, very much so, sir.
And this video, it'll be out sometime within the next year. Anyway, next, this whole situation brought me back to this clip of Yasin Bey when he was asked if Drake is hip hop. Basically, he said no, he's not hip hop because there is a certain thing that is required for you to be hip hop, and I do not feel that from him.
We gonna get.
That's what most Def said. We gonna get into that.
We gonna get into that.
That was all from the first day.
Your mic does sound like it's breaking up. Not sure. It's a little crackly.
Your cousin sound like it's breaking up.
I mean, sure, that's true. They got a divorce and all that. But
shit.
My
bad.
My bad. Sounds a little staticky.
Your cousin? Oh, my bad.
My cousin always has static. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, it'd be on. Let me see. What about now?
That's better.
Okay.
That's way better.
Okay, cool. All right, next. Imagine Michael suing Prince because Purple Rain was too big. Unprecedented loserism.
Unprecedented. Wow.
Yeah. JC.
The battle rapper?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh. No, not that guy. I don't think he tweets. Yeah, JC says, man, timing is crazy. It's going to be impossible for Drake to convince anyone he not suing because he lost that battle. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to that's me.
Yeah.
You can't, we wouldn't be here necessarily if he hadn't lost that. If he'd have smacked down, smacked down Kendrick like, you are beneath me.
Right.
Come on.
It's been a whole different story.
Yeah. Even, mind you, what if they did the same thing that he's accusing them of, but he still won? The perception was he still won. We wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Next, I would have, DJ Head again, I would have respected the legal actions a lot more had he not dropped another record after Not Like Us.
Yeah.
You can't be a bully, swing on someone, they swing back harder, you attempt to shoot, the gun jams, you prosecute for assault.
Facts. Although I wouldn't have respected it either. But I get what he's saying. Like, if this was so egregious.
Right.
Now, I heard somebody else try to make the point that, well, no, he needed to build up the damages of the Not Like Us song. So he didn't sue right away.
But the problem is that time, that you're arguing time versus action.
Yeah.
The point made here is that your action fucked the perception up. If it was literally just time, all right, maybe.
Yo, you called that man a woman beater. And
we gonna get to that.
Wasn't hit. Like,
we gonna get to that.
Come on,
so I didn't read the second one because I just want to.
Disco said K-Dot should countersue for the legal fees and lost wages of having to go to court while bringing laptop interface to record the courtroom for new material. That's ass, but he's not going to be.
He's not being sued. Yeah, he's not being sued. So the second petition is action against UMG over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, accusing the music giant of defamation and claiming it could have halted the release of a song, falsely accusing him of being a sex offender. So now we get into the defamation. He is saying in the second petition that because the song calls him a pedophile, UMG should have and could have stepped in to either have that edited out or not released.
Should have had the wife beat the shit to edit it out and all of that. But,
so
cool.
Next up is actually the point you just made. UMG also released the song where Drake accused Kendrick of beating his wife and not being the biological father of his son.
Right.
Next, after the rap battle, I was actually looking forward to Drake dropping new music. I was excited about it, even because I thought he would have had some pep in his step. But honestly, Drake is starting to piss me off. You're suing because Not Like Us got more streams? Dog. Yeah.
He's starting to piss you off.
He's eroding.
That's crazy work to me. He's starting to piss
Well, again, I think this is one of the people because I actually follow that person.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one of those people who doesn't care and just likes his music. But now, because it's reached this fucking level, they're like, all right, yeah, nah, I can't.
I'm seriously interested in seeing how many of those people who don't care. So let's take it out of the hip hop rap community, period. It's gonna be a ton of motherfuckers that don't give a fuck about this shit.
Absolutely.
One way or another. But in the community that is affected by this, it has to be, I would imagine, a smaller percentage of people that don't care, that are completely neutral, than there are people who lean one way or another.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if it's not,
that's not a question.
The other way. Like, it's like,
right.
You know?
No, that's not a question. There is a the people that I'm talking about, there's a very small percentage of those.
Yeah. It has to be
very small.
It has to be.
There's no way around that because it's just not how that works.
No.
It would have to be a very, very small percentage.
And I think that much like the mainstream media does with the so-called undecided vote.
Yeah.
I think they be inflating.
Yeah, this is probably inflated.
Yeah, y'all be inflating that motherfuckers. Man,
I'm sure.
Motherfuckers, come on.
Well, I don't think that they necessarily do that on purpose. That's not me shooting them down. That's not me saying that they have good intentions. No.
Right.
But I think it is based off of faulty information. Like polling, for instance.
Yeah.
Which could not ever be an exact science. I get why it was done before.
Right.
But
it's especially whack now.
It's antiquated. Yeah.
Especially whack
it's now. Super antiquated. But anyway, next, niggas' favorite rapper got a tummy tuck and be filing lawsuits over beef. That's not fire.
BBL.
Don't try to tell me this man is fighting some valiant fight for artist rights with that lawsuit when we saw him open that Pandora's box and endorse using AI to use artist likenesses without their permission. Yeah. Fuck out of here, man. That nigga is not a freedom fighter. He's a sore loser.
Oh, we're going to talk about that because y'all are just blowing my high with that particular take.
Matthew Cherry says, I hope Drake's planning on going back to being an actor moving forward, because how do you come back from this?
I mean,
he'll still be able to
I would argue he never stopped being an actor.
No, facts. He'll still be able to make music. It's just going to be different. And the crazy thing is we've been saying that since Kendrick dropped the first.
Yeah, like, if I can still make music, Drake can still make music.
Drake is still going to be able to make music. It's just going to be different. It's going to look different.
And it's not going to listen. This type of thing happens in basically all genres that are somewhat competitive, where the person on top is the person on top for a while. Then something happens inevitably. The trends change. The person isn't able to adapt. There's maybe other issues happening with contracts, rule stuff. Whatever the case may be, they have a loss in the family, they have kids, whatever the case may be, it kind of restricts and restrains their ability to be who they once were at their fucking peak.
Right.
So this was arguably going to happen in some way, shape, or form at some period of time, right? And to be honest, him being on top this is the reason why this lawsuit looks like nasty work coming from him. Because arguably he stayed up there that long thanks to similar tactics he's now upset about.
Yeah. Next, rapper who said another rapper beat his wife and isn't the father of his kids is suing for defamation. I never thought I'd see the day. Next, just a reminder that the same Drake that used Halle Berry's image without her permission and used an AI-generated voice of a deceased Tupac in a rap battle and was then forced to take it down by his estate is not an artist who is for artists' rights.
Come on, man. Let's not even do that.
Next, I bet not like I sound like the Jaws theme to Drake. Yo! Next person, y'all calling this nigga the January 6th God? Yo.
I mean, he's literally trying to stage a music industry insurrection because he lost the battle. Because he lost the battle. And that's not even just the music industry. Yeah. What he's doing is trying to overthrow paradigms in hip hop that have been what they have been since Pimpin'.
Yeah, both good and bad.
Both good and bad, right? And what I would say to people is that you get what you paid for.
Yeah.
You get what you paid for. And I'm going to get into that later when I give you my thoughts on this shit.
Right. Next one is a person quote tweeting something. The original tweet says, they'll clown him for taking legal action, trying to say he's scared and trying to hide behind the law, say he's being a Karen and his white side is coming out. But if someone was conspiring to defame your character and paying extra to inflate these claims, what would you do? The response says, no, We clown Drake because he starts issues with people and then likes to play victim. He did it with Rihanna. He did it with A$AP Rocky. He did it with Kendrick. He did it with Halle Berry. He did it with The Weeknd. He did it with Serena Williams. He did it with Serena Williams' husband. He did it with Megan Thee Stallion. This is
also
facts.
What we would have done was get in the booth.
Yeah,
that's what we would have done.
Very much so.
And which he did, and got that modicum of respect from me because okay, he's still going back.
That is his track record.
Yeah,
his track record says he gonna get in the booth.
Right.
The problem is,
now his track record is after he get in the booth, he's gonna get in the courthouse.
While this is a departure, it's a precedent-setting departure. At least a legacy-altering departure.
It is. It is. Well, see, again, I'm the wrong guy to say that this is a legacy because I would never bought into his legacy. So maybe other people.
No. I'm not talking about his overall legacy. No. I'm talking about literally what you just said.
Oh, okay.
His legacy, a part of his legacy was, he's gonna come back at you.
Yeah, true.
That's altered now. Like, what are you, sir? What?
Yeah, and it was actually starting to crack when Joe Budden. On that. It started to crack. Then the crack started because they found excuses for him then. Right. Oh, Joe ain't big enough. Joe only had one head, pump it up. Joe ain't this. Joe ain't this. It was
a smart move.
You know what I'm saying? So it kept him from the wood chipper because listen to me clearly.
Oh, no.
If you haven't heard,
you can't blow your way out of this one.
You haven't heard Joe Budden's diss songs to this nigga? That's a wood chipper. That's a buzzsaw that he did not want any part of that shit at all. Not at all.
All right, next up. If allegations were off the table, then why did you rap about that nigga's kids not being his and distributed through the same machine? Has the guy lost his maple marbles? Maple marbles is
that is
maple marbles?
Diabolical, yo.
Next up, Merriam-Webster. The rumors are not true. Drake is not suing us because Kendrick used English words and not like us. Yo. Next up.
Oh, man.
The second suit is where I'm out. Again. Listen. All right. You ain't never, and I know you have, this is rhetorical because we've talked about this before.
Right.
You ain't never had a lady that's in your life who was in this relationship with this ain't no good nigga, and she just keep forgiving all the bullshit that he do over it. No matter how many times people point out to her the bullshit, no matter how many times she sees firsthand the bullshit, she just forgives it over and over and over again. And then eventually, there's the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Right.
I think this is what this is for some people.
Yeah.
I think this is what it is.
I hope it's for more people than I first initially thought, because if you start to look at some of the commentary from the OVO people, it sounds remarkably like the excuses the Trump followers make for him when he says stuff that goes opposite to what their thing is supposed to be, and then it's brought up and they go, he ain't mean it. And, that sort of shit. Like, a lot of that stuff, some places you go at to see this commentary, you got to take it with a grain of salt where you're at. Like, for instance, if you're on X is full of people that are acting in bad faith. Like, that shit draws these months. So you got to kind of take it for a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is what will hurt him and is hurting him more. Because the narrative of this, remember, hip hop is still a thing. The narrative of this is you lost. He had a whole generation of motherfuckers for a summer and a fall going OV ho and singing the PDF shit about you. And that narrative, once it leaves our culture and goes towards people who don't look into this any further, that's what they'll hear. Yeah. That's what they'll see. Not this shit, this petty fog you motherfuckers try and put up there, right, to try to obscure what actually happened. what they're going to get is the distilled version of what the culture is saying. And what the culture is saying is, yeah, this nigga just lost a rap beef and then he sued a motherfucker for it.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to get.
Thanks. Next person. TaylorMade. Go ahead and say I like young girls. Euphoria. Make it personal and I'll say it. 616 in LA. Last warning. I'm going to say it. Family Matters. You beat your wife and your son isn't yours. Not like us. You like young girls. Drake. Defamation.
Oh, you got to put an addendum to that too. We gave you that information.
Not even that, but what do you say? The Epstein lines is what we expected.
Yeah.
The Epstein angles was we expected, nigga. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Next, y'all done dug up Drake's literal legal documents, but swear y'all had no idea where to find Kamala's policies. I'm sorry, I had to. Saw
that. Yeah.
I had to put that in there because no, nigga, you tripping. You tripping. All right, next up, Drake has a project called "If You're Reading This, It's Too Late." This person photoshopped that and said, "If you're reading this, you've been served."
Yo, if you're filing this, by now it's already too late. If you're filing, it's already too late.
Glasses Malone posted, quote, "Sometimes you gotta pop out and sue niggas."
No, you don't. Not for this. Not for this.
Next person, Jay-Z suing UMG, claiming they were aware that the song falsely accused him of being 36 in the karate class.
You Tabo ho.
Next one. Drake was warned to keep it rap. He mentioned that man's wife and kids and randomly tried to call him a domestic abuser. Got responded to with allegations that had been circulating for years. Yeah. Drake calls his lawyers inexcusable whole ass shit.
Yo, when you think about that, though, think about this. So those rumors that Kendrick had beat his girlfriend, his wife up, right? They were out there. They tried to be out there for a while. So he basically pulled from, and a lot of Drake shit that he said against Kendrick, he basically pulled from the internet as far as what people have been saying and shit, right? Yeah. How is what you did any different than when Kendrick...
Oh, no, it's the same exact thing.
The only major difference, there are more examples of you on that liking young girl shit.
Sure.
Than him beating her.
I think the other difference is how people, which is a commentary on society in a microcosm, is how people view domestic violence
versus child
abuse. Right, which in this case, not in this case, in any case, on an individual basis, you can do variations.
Yes.
But overall, this is still abuse to a victim.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I think the way people will parse it that are trying to do that shit is that the child is innocent.
Yeah.
And not able to give consent.
Right.
The adult, I'm not even going to say the woman because men get abused too.
Right.
The adult in that situation is an adult and does have some autonomy. But I would argue in some cases that's not necessarily cut and dry either. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If the woman is trapped there with a kid, no place to go, and it's a lot of shit. And then they separated from their family because these niggas be doing that too. These niggas be taking women out of their comfort zones where they have support systems. And then now they got them to themselves. They can do what the fuck they want because uncle such and such or the older brother or the older cousins ain't there to whoop your motherfucking ass for getting out of line with their family member. It's literally one of the things, it's not exactly that, but it's close to it. One of the things that my biological tried, right, to keep my mom somewhat isolated away from certain shit. And it didn't help that there were certain family members that had been conditioned through society to think, well, that's just something that happens. And you know what I'm saying? and we're trying to talk her down from even leaving the situation. That sort of shit. But of course, when it all went down, my father was a big guy. He was a big guy, former military, right? So he could throw hands, he could do all that shit. But it's so many guys, there were so many men over there on my mother's side that when he left Maryland to go up New York, thinking he was escaping something, but didn't realize, chances are, if you're up New York and there's a black person who has the last name Cooper, they're probably something else. And he wound up getting jammed up there by some Coopers, right? The Coopers came, like he was Mario or some shit. The Coopers came, you know what I'm saying? Then he had to move over to New Jersey and stay there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, next. Kendrick Lamar is Not Like Us has re-entered the top 20 of U.S. Apple Music.
Of course it has. Oh, yeah, let me guess. UMG and Spotify, they conspired to put that back up in the
right. All right. Because this is the real world. As much as people like to say the internet is not the real world, the internet exists in the real world.
It's an extension of the real world. Stop the cap, y'all. For real. How does
the internet exist in the real world? So, in real world, given the times that we're in, niggas are gonna troll.
Yeah.
And you said such and such. Well, I like that. I'm gonna get back to that for the record. Running it right back. It made it back into the top 20 of Apple Music. Next person. For those who don't know, the backronym. And for those who don't know what acronym is, it is when you have an acronym that is made retroactively because it's already actually a word. Yes. And for those who don't know, Drake's name, his middle name is Drake. This is but the backronym for Drake is Do Right and Kill Everything. Somebody said Do Right and Care and Everything. Quest McCody. I'm suing every nigga I've ever met.
Battle rapper, yo. All of you are catching. All of you are catching these files. Catching these files, nigga.
Next, J. Cole apologized. Drake sued him. Say what you want, but Kendrick set out to destroy the Big Three narrative, and he absolutely did.
He did. He decimated it. I
can't argue. Jeremy Hectigan. This man from Compton, California, really has the entire music industry losing their minds.
This ain't the first time a nigga from Compton, California had the music industry losing their minds. It ain't. It's not.
Next person. Drake 1000% has benefited from artificial streams. I mean, everyone at that level has.
Yeah, come on.
Wild. Come on. Next person. Drake. You are opening yourself up to discovery. Drake. They can subpoena your deleted text. Drake. You released a song saying you fed them the information.
Yeah.
This
is about to be ugly because here's the thing. When they use that, you either have to cop to it or you have to say, we really didn't. It was a lie. So that fucks with your credibility because everyone was saying at the time, no, you didn't. Everybody was saying it at the time. No, I don't believe that.
Next, culture won over commerce, skill won over streams, the rapper won over the pop star.
No.
Drake didn't expect it. A lot of people didn't expect it. This era in hip hop is in shambles, but the right rapper won for all the right reasons.
I agree with that, but you can't say something won over streams because it streamed well.
Yeah,
streamed exceptionally well. Facts. So and if there's a portion of what Drake is insinuating with this that's true, that's still part of the industry. That's part of
yeah. Next, Baby King. It was Kendrick's cousin. Said all Birdman had to do was pay the Neptunes, man. That's so funny. Everything goes back to that. Because Baby didn't pay the Neptunes, we now have the first litigated rap beef in history.
Agreed, yo. Agreed.
Yo, Baby not paying Pharrell is a canon event. I do not care what anybody says.
Wow.
Glasses Malone responds to somebody's tweet. The person tweeted, "Everybody keep taking an emotional angle with their take on this, same as they did with Control. As much as it's culture and everything else, it's also this man's livelihood. He's saying the third party is trying to fuck him over on business." Glasses Malone says, "No. Drake's taking an emotional angle. Hip hop is only culture, which is why I kept saying this man isn't that. At this point, it should be glaringly evident. Drake fucked himself by participating in a damn rap battle. No third party needed."
Hold up for a second. That's funny as fuck.
Facts.
I hate when motherfuckers say his livelihood. That nigga has 400. Y'all say that like, oh shit, this could make him broke and destitute.
Yo, I have
what
never
is wrong with y'all?
I have always had an issue with the idea of millionaires and billionaires losing their jobs and people wanting me to feel sorry about that.
Yo, get that.
I don't give a fuck about.
I don't give a fuck.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Why Cindy just said, "Don't start that yawning shit."
Listen, Cindy, I can't help it.
Listen,
I can't help it at all.
You lucky I'm not doing it. I haven't slept.
Yeah, once we get to our weeks,
yeah, you'll see. Like,
Curtis King says Drake is not going against the machine. He's throwing a fit because the machine he benefited from has seemingly turned on him.
Yeah.
Stop the Talcum X narratives of him revolting, and going to bat for indie artists.
Talcum X.
Talcum X.
Talcum X.
Talcum X is next level. But Curtis is also a rapper, so.
And also, it was used before. It was used against the Big Sean King. But still, like, whoo.
Yeah. Next. Okay, so here's one of the things from a lawyer that I saw. So, actually, it would have been in that goddamn article if Rolling Stone didn't.
Facts.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't care. I'm not doing that. So here's a tweet of somebody from. This is like fourth-hand information, but whatever. I spoke with Brian. I can't pronounce his last name.
Oh, sorry.
No, entertainment lawyer. And another lawyer for thoughts on Drake's filings, not lawsuits, against UMG. They say it's a strange filing that's difficult to prove and probably won't make it to trial.
The point is the impact of the perception of it is probably going to be more than what actually happens in the courtroom. The reality is the reason why people are saying lawsuit is because it's shorthand. Because that's what
whoa. Some people,
right. But
I would argue that a vast majority of the people do not know that these are.
They don't, but people tend to think anytime something has to do with lawyers,
any legal motion,
this lawsuit. That they think. That's what they think.
Facts. Next, so according to Joe Budden, he heard that Weezy went to the studio after hearing Kendrick's album. That's not exactly what happened. So he said that Lil Wayne attempted to call Kendrick.
Right.
And Kendrick didn't answer, and then Wayne went into the booth. Which,
by the way, I heard the clip. Right, the way Joe said it is rumor has it. So he made caveats.
Right,
that's what exactly.
Also,
happened.
I hate Ish so much.
I know.
I hate Ish.
I know.
So anyway, Curtis King again. If Drake fed the information to the other side, shouldn't he be suing himself for defamation?
Yes. The short answer, yes.
Punch from TDE. I don't remember if I think Punch is the president.
Yeah, he's the guy.
He said, "Cut off your nose to spite your face."
No. Excuse me. The actual phrase is to spider.
Okay. Yes. Bootleg Kev says, "Pusha T told y'all." Next person. Does hip hop owe Mos Def an apology? Some of y'all. I don't owe Mos Def an apology.
Whoa. See, this is what we're gonna have to stop doing too. Yeah. Because this is what happened under the last regime, the Drake regime, the Drake presidency. This is what happened under there, where you motherfuckers keep assuming you're hip hop.
Right.
No,
I don't.
Hip hop was not mad at what Mos Def said.
I even did my normal fair thing of defending and still manning Drake but I still didn't disagree with most that said.
Facts.
There are several elements of what Drake was that were still very much hip hop.
Yes.
However, there were more glaring elements.
Yeah,
that were not.
The thing, you can present as hip hop, and in the presentation itself can be put under the category of it because that's what they're going to do. They're going to he presents as hip hop. We're going to put him over there as hip hop. But for the record, hip hop wasn't mad at Mos Def.
No.
And now that regime is dwindling and going away, we not allowing y'all who thought it was cool to sue or to even give the early case study for whether or not you should sue for a rap battle. Y'all don't get to call yourself the body hip hop again. Nah, we not doing that. We not doing that.
Next, Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us has re-entered the top 5 of U.S. iTunes. Next, imagine Jadakiss taking Hove to court because that nigga kept jumping on every song Jada was on.
Yo, imagine Beanie Siegel going to court for Jadakiss, calling him a fat stinking nigga.
Right. What bitch want to lay with you? Fuck rap and I can get you murked in the dead too. No casket, the only thing left is a braid suit. Oh, my bad. You sparked something. My bad.
Yo, what Pac said, that's why I fucked you, bitch. How come there was no lawsuit?
Biggie went right to the courthouse.
Yeah. Excuse me. And by courthouse, he mean booth. Go right to the booth. What he said? He was like, what the shit? All right. I got something for him. And went right in that booth.
Right to the booth.
Who shot
you? Next, TNT is going to be the next target of a lawsuit. They keep playing Kendrick's music when they go to breaks. Next person. I streamed Not Like Us this morning 5 times just for the hell of it. And so in response to the whole report from Joe Budden saying that Wayne called Kendrick and Kendrick didn't answer, it's another quote from Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria. It's nothing nobody can tell me. I don't want to talk on no celly.
Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah. Also, Wayne's manager, after this rumor got out, quickly tried to squash that on social media, saying that was cap. Because I'm not saying that in his lean-induced stupor that Wayne did. I'm about to rap, throw some bars. I think cooler heads prevailed in this case and said to him, yo, nah.
I don't know if cooler heads prevailed. What the streets are saying is DJ Head talked to Wack 100, and Wack 100 called Mac Main to tell him, like, yo, tell Wayne, no.
Don't do that.
Don't do this.
Because, like, this is what I think happened. I think Kendrick never respected Drake's legacy.
Sure.
But he 100% respected.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Wayne's.
It's documented. It's documented.
Because of that, he was like, nah, yo, I'm not trying to kill you because I will.
Right.
Like,
now,
killing you hurts me.
To be clear, DJ Head said Kendrick was not involved in that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was simply Wack 100 being like, all right,
let me
chill out.
Let me help my mans over here because they spiraling and this ain't what you want. Also, a lot of hip hop, there's a significant number of hip hop that don't want to see Wayne get fucked up or his legacy get fucked up. Now, I am not part of that. I want to see the battle.
I want to hit a lighter flip.
I want to hit me too. Listen, because I am in a lot of ways a hip hop purist when it comes to the culture. You said you want to do what? Do it then.
You said you want to destroy.
Do it.
Okay. Go ahead. See what you got.
Go ahead.
You ain't been able to do it before, but I mean,
no, but you got to punch his chance. You got to punch his chance. You rap. Go rap. And that's what you're going to do. Rap about it. Because there's two things you can do in these situations. You cannot respond, and you can respond. I'm not going to be mad at you for not responding. That's why they didn't kick Drake's back in when he didn't respond to Button.
Right.
Like, all right.
But even more, Kendrick didn't dish you.
Yeah. Facts.
Kendrick did not dish you.
Facts.
Now, I can see you taking it away because you said you used to bump the Cardi. You used to bump the Cardi B. I bumped my Rolly Chain. Proud irony. I think my hard work with Lil Wayne though. Now, the next words he says is whatever though. So I can see somebody taking the whatever though as also, a little bit aggressive.
The part about old school flows.
Yeah.
I saw somebody try to toss that in there too. Yeah.
I can see people taking it, but here's the thing. This is Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. This nigga, on that very same song, is mentioning names.
He mentioned Snoop. He mentioned, and Snoop is, by the way, Snoop is one of his OGs.
Facts. He's mentioned Snoop. He mentioned Wayne. That last verse, he's talking about Drake. It's very clear he's talking about Drake.
Yeah.
If he was trying to diss Wayne, he would have dissed Wayne.
Well, here's the thing about that. What's happening is you got a certain segment of the Wayne fan base, and I've literally watched him say this online, even just mentioning the GOAT's name is a diss. And I'm like, maybe for y'all, because you're sensitive, but Wayne's supposed to be an experienced rapper that's been rapping for a lot of years. He knows when something is a diss and is not a diss. You can hear the line to tell he didn't say nothing disparaging about you. If anything, it was more disappointment. Damn.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like,
funny thing about this is J. Cole got a whole song called Let Nas Down.
Yep, sure does.
I don't recall a single person thinking that Cole was coming for Nas.
Right. No, this was what was happening was people were still in their feelings. To me, no legitimate reason for them to even have approached their feelings about this nigga not being in the Super Bowl. There is no this is what I mean by emotions. Everybody has them. Sometimes they are misapplied because narratives can spark emotions to be misapplied. So if the narrative amongst this particular group of people is that, they robbed him of his chance at the Super Bowl, and then you argue facts to them and say, 1, he never had a spot.
Right.
2, they've never gone off the fact of wherever they're having a Super Bowl at, they should use local famous celebrities to do the show. They only happened the one time, and that was in LA. While that may be a precedent, it's still not a norm.
Right.
It happened that one time. They never said going forward, that's what we do, y'all.
It is an anomaly.
It's an anomaly at best. They never said going forward, y'all, we going, every place we go have a Super Bowl, we gonna have a local celebrity get up and do the no. One, I'm gonna tell you why that don't make sense. Because different places they go at, the level of celebrity is different.
Yeah.
They're trying to have as big of a spectacle as they can at this event. So they're not going to restrict themselves to who was the local celebrity in this town. We're going to use them. And what if that local celebrity in this town hasn't been relevant to the culture in fucking years? This does not give them the spectacle that they look for. So they're going to the music industry entire. And because Jay-Z has a huge thing to do with that, that's why hip hop is even being considered. Right? So no, nigga, you never had a spot. And when I heard you say you bust your ass for this spot, I went, cap. In fact, right after he said it, I have like about 4 or 5 hats here. I put them all on.
No, shut the hell up.
Cap, nigga.
I can't.
Cap.
Yo,
cap.
That's not even the worst part to me. The worst part is he made a video and put the video out that said, I guess I did not work hard enough. And then once he went on that little short-ass tour, he's recorded saying, all my hard work, blah, blah. No, nigga, you can't have it both ways. You are letting it. I've always had this theory that Wayne is actually older than they say he is.
He looks it. But it could have been
because like, but then again, maybe them niggas just dumb.
Oh, like, bro, You shouldn't even have to. Come on.
Because like, what are you talking about? Why would you say that? Or the third option, he could have been on drugs, which is absolutely a possibility with Lil Wayne. No, that's not a shot. If you know anything about Lil Wayne, you know this.
You know anything about Lil Wayne, you know that he's rapping.
Maybe he could have been on drugs at the time, but there's no way in the world that you don't realize that you on that stage is being recorded. Why would you say something on the stage that contradicts something that you put out publicly?
Because you don't remember what you said publicly, word verbatim. You just know that you said something.
Right.
And there's obvious reasons for that you can clearly tell. But again, it's like I've said before, man, like, are we at the part where we give our thoughts about?
No. There's still a lot of. All right, let me get. All right, Bomani Jones says I also see a lot of Drake was going to buy NBC in these tweets, and I don't know why these people think anyone cares about that. As a great philosopher said, this ain't about money, bro. Not to us, at least. Next, Kendrick gave us 2 diss tracks in a 24-hour span. This dude gave us 2 lawsuits in a 24-hour span.
They not the same.
They're not supposed to say, what if Wayne just called the wrong number?
Which is within the realm of possibility as well.
Absolutely. Because again, drugs. Button has some words about Drake on his podcast. And Drake's father responds.
Dennis.
Button says, or he's a selfish, lying, manipulative sack of shit who has made enemies for 15 years, and now we're at the point where we're here at the fucking boiling point. Drake's father commented under a clip of that on IG and said, stand down now with 17 million exclamation points. Joe needs to back the fuck off. This has nothing to do with him, period.
I would argue it has a lot to do with Joe. Joe is one of the people that has been in a almost back and forth with this nigga. Yeah. And Drake has had Joe's name in his mouth on several occasions, Joe.
They have an interesting relationship.
You can definitely. The word interesting is definitely the word to use with these two.
Yeah, they got history.
They got history. And also, Drake is on record as saying that he looked up to Joe Button. Right? He's on record as saying that. And that little back and forth shit that they have going on is a love-hate type thing, right?
Yeah.
And the reality of the situation is this. Dennis, you are the one that need to stand down. This has nothing to do with you. Except for that part. Like, other than that, this has nothing to do with you. You don't rap.
Right.
You're not involved in this either way. So that's your son. I hear you. But we could say a lot of things that would be different had you actually felt that way when he was growing up.
That's hilarious.
Just saying, you wait until now to be all protective of him. But what about when he had his bar mitzvah and somebody slapped the shit out of him? Was you there for that? Was you there for that? Yo, you was only there when he came there in the fucking summertime. Right?
I hate you so much now.
When them niggas around in Tennessee, when he was coming around to see you, was bullying him and giving him atomic noogies and swirlies and all that shit.
Bruh.
When he came down there, did you come run to his defense then?
Bruh.
We don't want to hear that from you now.
Yikes.
We don't listen. No. When they was hiking that nigga drawers all up and shit, and touching his hair because it felt funny to them. When they was doing all that. Where was you at then? Fuck out of here. Now I'm gonna talk to Dennis because I forget how old Dennis is, but out of the both of us on this show, I'm closer to his age. Dennis, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Leave him alone.
No, he actually. You stand down, Dennis.
Thanks.
You stand down. You can put on all the zoot suits you want and try to get involved in this shit. But I'm telling you right now, bro, this has nothing to do with you. And you can get bars too, especially since your son invoked other people's family members in his shit. So stop it. This ain't nothing to do with this. Is music, B. And I heard some stuff about how Dennis was one time doing music. Cool. Cool. But not hip hop.
Nah, it wasn't.
You wasn't doing hip hop.
Nah.
Fuck out of here, Dennis.
Next.
And I'm mad at because my road dog, the dude that I went to the mat for cutting, bleeding, and he went to the mat for me, cutting, bleeding. His name is Dennis. You out here disrespecting this shit.
I can't stand
Fuck
you.
out of here.
Next up, a little tidbit. Diddy is staying in jail for Thanksgiving. He had a third request for bail and the judge denied it.
Yo, stop for a second. Stop. So you know what the newest thing was before this with him? Oh, they made them give the papers back that they took from the such and such and such. Mm-hmm. And I saw the Diddy's Rangers, the Diddy Avengers. I saw them get out here on social media and go, aha, they about to let this nigga go. Because I was like, did y'all even read what the fuck this is about?
No, that's not what that means.
That's not what that means.
It's the same thing that happened with the Tory Lanez thing when the appellate court granted his petition for a retrial.
All they saw is granted.
Yeah.
Retrial.
And they were like, Tory's free. He's innocent. No, nigga, that's not what happened. The quote that was pulled from this order was, quote, no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably ensure the safety of the community. So he's still a public risk.
He's still
according to the courts,
and he's still in public housing. That's like, he ain't going. No.
All right, next up, begged for smoke, got smoke, cried that it's too much smoke. I mean,
stop. Cops.
Is somebody quoting academics. Academic says day 3 with no response from Kendrick Lamar yet. That was after push-ups. And somebody quote tweeted him and said, and on day 227, he reported Kendrick to the authorities. Another one with Maul. Maul said, oh shit, I should have did that. Somebody said, Maul really said Kendrick should not be sounding like Tupac when reincarnated because he is no longer around. Where was this energy from Maul when Drake used AI and rapped this Tupac when Taylor made?
That's why.
Maul responded and said, you don't see the difference in those songs? One was meant as trolling, the other is an actual song on an album.
No, there's no difference. What are you talking about? No, this is why, like I said, Maul is not
super compromised.
He's compromised, but he's not somebody that we should be taking seriously for anything he has to say on this particular topic. And the only let's call a spade a spade. The only reason why this nigga has a voice is because Joe Budden gave him a voice. I know. Y'all running around here talking about he cheated us, he did this, he did that. How come you ain't go to court?
Right.
So I don't want to hear all that shit. First of all, I don't believe it.
Especially since litigation is okay for you.
Litigation's all right. Right?
So why you go to court for Budden?
This is why, first of all, I don't believe him. Do I believe that everything Joe said about that situation is wrong? No. But I lean more towards what Joe is saying than you because there were options for you, my guy, that none of you exercised.
He basically told him the same thing the niggas told Cola. You were an employee.
Yeah, facts. I know. Look,
you were an employee.
That's a deep cut. Cola was a battle rap commentator for an already well-established battle rap media thing. He got in there and he caused a lot of shit. But, some people say that sort of shit is good for engagement or whatever. Them niggas in public at least rode for him. But behind the scenes, we find out, nah. And he also boosted his position up in public way more than what it actually was.
Right.
And then expected at some point to be put in that position when you were a worker. You were never there.
Won't give me the keys to the YouTube.
Why would
you're a worker.
Why would they give you?
What do you mean? Why do you think we'll just let you willy-nilly make any change you want without?
Nigga,
no. That's not how that works. Anyway, next up, Metro's mom passes. Future tells Drake after Drake asks where Metro is at. Drake says, "I don't give a fuck about your mom. Where's my beat?" and laughs. Future didn't find it funny. He tells Metro, which is why Metro won't go into detail because Future did him a solid and won't drag Future's name.
Yeah, it's up for life now. It's up for life. It's up for life. My mom passed, and then you say some shit. It's up for fucking life. He's lucky I don't punch you in your. I think the only reason Metro couldn't punch him in his face because he's surrounded by too many fucking bodyguards and shit.
Thanks. All right. So that's it for the reaction. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first because I don't think mine is super long. Let me just start off by saying, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more. So, just so we are all clear, we were always going to end up right here. No matter what details you change, no matter what events you alter, we were always going to end up right here with this guy. It was inevitable. Like from the moment the world decided that a former Canadian teen actor who once rapped about Marvin's room in wheelchairs was the face of hip hop, the writing was on the fucking wall. And by writing, I mean ghostwriting. Because let's not forget the Quentin Miller saga. Drake's entire career has been a masterclass in making the culture squint and shrug while whispering, but he makes hits though. Yes, hits. Because that's what this generation elevated him for. Now, to be clear, when he first came out and started getting on the scene, there were many of us that was like, it's cool, but he ain't really got that authentic feel. He don't. And of course, we were shouted down by that slightly younger generation. I ain't even say slightly, because I'm talking about my son's age at the time. Because, and then the very real thought of, hey man, every generation has that's their thing, right? So you let the babies have their bottle. The issue is this man has poor character. And when you allow somebody who has poor character and is cosplaying to get into a position in a certain thing that is a culture, to be able to shift the culture in ways, you're going to have a fucking problem. You just are. And what for? A few catchy songs in exchange for a culture gutted like a fish. Drake started as the nice guy, the sensitive rapper who made love songs that could turn even the hardest gangster into a softie for 3 minutes. Man who once, but suddenly he had gang and mob ties and was tossing out subliminals and acting like he runs the Canadian streets, I guess. The man who once had a BlackBerry full of rhymes wanted us to believe he was the kingpin of the six. Even though his mentor, Lil Wayne, was like, Drake, don't do that. You good where you are. And we talked about on the show. He could have stayed the nice guy, sensitive rapper and done very well and never really had to deal with allegations of being inauthentic.
Correct.
That wouldn't have been part of the whole narrative with him. But a lot of y'all didn't call this out. Nope, you let him cook. And then we watched as he adapted regional styles like a hip-hop parasite, from Houston's chopped and screwed sound to UK's grime to Caribbean dancehall. Drake didn't borrow culture. He looted it. And what disappointed me greatly was there were a lot of old school, old head hip-hop personalities who let him live when you know goddamn well, that is not something we ordinarily would have let live. They'd said something. And when people like the late, great DMX dared to say what needed to be said, that Drake was corny, they kind of treated that like an outlaw. He hating. You know, one of them old niggas that say, that's fucking DMX.
Thanks.
And all of you that ran around here saying he was hating, and that's what that was about. Some of you same motherfuckers, when he passed, act like you gave a fuck. I saw you. We don't want to hear that. But meanwhile, the rest of the industry gave him a pass because his records, I guess, sold like hotcakes. Ghostwriting allegations? Ignored. Studio gangster antics? Brushed under the rug. Questionable personal behavior? Like propositioning the wives and girlfriends of his peers and ops? Apparently just part of the Drake experience.
Right.
And y'all let that shit rock for a lot of years. And then Kendrick Lamar happened. Oh, Kendrick. The one artist Drake couldn't outmarket or outhustle. Because think about this for a second. When you become the darling of the music industry, there are a bunch of corporate interests that are invested in you staying on top. Invested, like deep, like, oh, this is cash cow. And some of his fans even admitted it themselves during this whole conversation because they said goofy shit like, all right, y'all chose Kendrick. Let's see if he feeds you.
Yeah.
Feed you. All right, yeah, let's see. Kendrick, it was Drake that was holding the whole music industry together. Fuck Taylor Swift and all that.
Right.
Y'all did a lot of that goofy shit, man. Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, and suddenly all the Drake's shiny veneers cracked. This wasn't Pusha T exposing his personal life. This was Kendrick reminding everyone what authenticity looks like. Drake tried to do what he always does. Tried to flood the airwaves with new music. Drown out the competition. But then it flopped. Songs didn't hit the same. The magic was gone. Kendrick took him to the cleaners. And Drake really couldn't find his way back. Because think about it. He put out a lot of music from after the so-called end of the beef to now, before the case studies for lawsuits. Don't get me wrong. Drake tried. He always tries. But every attempt to recover was like watching someone try to inflate a popped balloon. Wasn't just the battle he lost. It was the war. Because a lot of us in hip-hop who already saw this shit for what it was back then, now it's other people who didn't. Now seeing him for what he was. He was a brand. And the brand can only coast on vibes for so long. I know you vibrators out here relate to that. Vibes, all vibes. And it can only last for so long before people start asking, wait, what exactly are we buying here? At the end of the day, Drake isn't just an artist. To me, anyway, he's a symbol of everything hip-hop sacrificed in the name of commercial success. He's a walking, singing, rapping, cautionary tale. The culture didn't just allow him to exist, it enabled him. Because y'all wasn't good with ghostwriting. Even though ghostwriting has been a thing in hip-hop since the Sugar Hill Gang. But the culture deemed it unacceptable, so the motherfuckers that did it remained in hiding. This is why ghostwriters wouldn't say they ghostwrit somebody's shit. And they would get the money. This is why these rappers would posture like nobody wrote their shit. This is why guys like me who got into hip-hop with the mindset, nobody writing my shit. Write my own shit. I don't need nobody writing my shit. It's offensive. The idea of it is offensive. Even though there was people doing it in the industry, they kept that shit on the low because the core element of the culture was important. Y'all let him get in y'all heads and in y'all spirits. And y'all let this motherfucker who was cosplaying this whole time redefine core elements of hip-hop. And that's just fucking disgusting. And even now, as I speak, listen, you can hear the fingers tapping of Drake fans trying to find a way where this is not ass. And it ain't gonna work. And for the record, I'm speaking for those of us that saw what it was back then. I'm glad a lot of you are now on board. I'm glad enough because it wasn't for us to say, apparently. It was for y'all to see. This is a violation. The concept to even talk about litigation after a rap battle that you lost. And to be clear, motherfuckers have said some really heinous shit to each other in the history of hip-hop battle rap.
Facts.
Heinous. character assassination, heinous. And I looked to the west, I looked to the east, I looked to the north, I looked to the south. I could not find a single example of other situations in rap where that happened. This is a precedent, one of the worst for the culture ever, because how we react to this shit now is going to determine if it's done again by somebody else.
Yeah.
So all of you OVOs who are trying to run interference for this shit and make excuses for this shit and say, oh, it's not as it's something else. His livelihood, he would have been broken and living in under a bridge or some shit if he didn't do this. All of y'all doing that capping for that should be ashamed of yourself. And it lends credence to when people say y'all not really hip hop in the first place. Y'all part of that. If y'all part of that section that filtered into hip hop because his pop stardom got so big. And now y'all commenting on shit that you ain't even really a part of. And for what? To get a few hits? Congratulations. Because y'all motherfuckers, at least a lot of y'all, for the longest time now, how long that nigga been on top? 15 years? Some shit like that? Y'all traded the soul of the culture for a guy who gave us Hotline Bling. I hope it was worth it.
All right, hold up.
No, I'm not giving it. No,
nigga. Listen, that's more about that ties more into that video that I was talking about. I was making. Hotline Bling is about, my guy. It has nothing to do with. Never mind. We're gonna get into that when I make that.
GA, what's up, my guy?
What up, GA?
I'm just saying, bro. Overall, my take on this is that the lesson we should get from this is when a motherfucker is not authentically about the culture, he can still do his music, make his money, and do whatever he wants to do. But what we can't allow him to do is to shift the core of hip hop culture. To say that, oh, ghostwriting's cool now because he did it. And he ain't even one of them ones. Y'all turned him into Cool Herc. And I'm sitting there going, when the fuck this happened?
Right.
When this happened? Nah, B. Look, MC Hammer came in and danced his way into y'all souls, right? MC Hammer tried to do some double time rap one time and it was painful. Wasn't a great rapper. But guess what, though? At the core, he didn't shift the culture when it came to core elements.
Yeah.
And also, Hammer was street.
So I'm about to say, Hammer just so happened to be commercial. Hammer was
right.
Culture.
Right. So we can't allow that to happen again. But we will, because a person like Drake, when an artist gets that big, that well known, he pulls people into the culture that ordinarily didn't give a fuck about the culture. We saw this with Eminem. Eminem pulled people into the culture that didn't give a fuck about hip-hop before. Couldn't give you one Run DMC song. And then they start talking. And you instantly could identify the ones of them that didn't give a fuck about hip-hop before Eminem. Instantly. I seen all kinds of goofy shit. Eminem invented hip-hop. And I'm a fan of Eminem. I saw motherfuckers doing that shit. Because who he is, what he is, and how good he is allowed him to transcend beyond the normal audience. And the people that noticed him aren't people that gave a fuck. Couldn't tell you one Beanie Siegel song.
Correct.
Couldn't tell you one Far Side song.
Correct.
Couldn't tell you anything about Helter Skelter. Couldn't tell you nothing about the Graveyard. Couldn't tell you none of that shit. But they knew Eminem, and they come in with their opinions. Their opinion. Oh, that should be. Well, people should pay attention. Look, I'm saying Shut the fuck up. Learn. Welcome. Learn. It's a whole back catalog for you motherfuckers to listen to. Whole back catalog for you to catch up. To see that he ain't the only one. It's been a bunch of nice-ass motherfuckers that came through this. Mm-hmm. It's the reason why it was the fastest growing genre of music for decades. Get comfortable. After we show you where all the stuff is. Bathroom's over there. The kitchen's there. We close it at the 5. Don't be running through our fucking refrigerator at the 5. If you're going to smoke, take that shit out in the backyard. Oh, people on the wall here, they helped make this shit. This house wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So before you go off talking this bullshit about something you don't know, you wasn't part of, you didn't struggle for, you wasn't there. You wasn't there when Donahue, Oprah Winfrey, the whole basic media landscape tried to do hip-hop dirty as a motherfucker. And those of us that was doing hip-hop at the time had to defend. That's something else hip-hoppers used to do. They used to defend hip-hop in music. They would say some shit and call motherfuckers out in music and shit. Y'all wasn't there for that. For the, it ain't really music. Y'all wasn't there for a lot of that. It's an established genre now. Some of y'all came in during that point. It ain't your fault. You ain't no control over that. But at least have some fucking respect.
Right.
Have some fucking respect. Or if not, leave us the fuck alone. Take your little pop ditties and do your little Trump dance with it, and then go ahead. Don't speak on our behalf. And don't tell us what should be acceptable in a house we fucking built. Stop letting niggas like that become the equivalent of Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? That's my thoughts on it. We saw this back then. Glad you can see it now. Welcome. What you think about this, SPJ?
I don't know now. So
they don't know about Boot Camp Click. Damn.
I'm
Slum Village.
I'm gonna use Tune as my Ghost Rider for this.
Yo, you so ass.
So
hold up. Before you begin, there's one other thing I forgot. I actually said this in that one of the recent songs I released. Everything you contribute, they took and hold it. And even though you're shaping the culture, you never own it. So everything you innovate first, they go and scold it. Then they decide it's cool and repackage it and resold it.
Yep.
Yeah. We got to put an end to that. Nah. You may continue.
Yeah. Ditto.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to because I'm going to talk about more ancillary things.
Good.
Number one, Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, I saw. Yo, pathetic.
Tim sent me a video of Gilbert Arenas on his podcast.
Get him.
Talking to somebody. I don't even know who the fuck these people are. I don't follow the NBA. So I don't know if they were ex-basketball players or what.
Well,
I know who Gilbert Arenas is.
Right.
Back then, I was more familiar with the NBA, but whatever.
Right.
Tim sent me the video of him talking about this situation and saying it was a win for Drake, and that's potentially true. Like, we're going to, as always, we're going to talk about the facts as they are.
Yeah.
This is potentially a win for Drake, absolutely. If the things Kendrick and Mos Def and others have said about him are true, then yeah. This could absolutely be a big win for Drake.
Why he cut his head?
I just want to address one thing that Gilbert said when he was getting pushback. He said, quote, "Then he should have said, I heard, and that would have covered him." in reference to the defamation claims.
He did.
Now, number one, I'm not sure how the legality around that works. And I'm not going to just take Gilbert's word for it.
Fuck no.
But I'm also not going to look it up.
Yeah. So we not.
But I'm also not going to look it up. He could be right. He could be wrong. I'm not going to say he's right. Mm-hmm. But secondly, and most importantly, that's exactly what Kendrick did. Sure did. Let me refer to book, Not Like Us, verse 1. The line is, "Say, Drake, I hear you like 'em young. Yeah. He says the word pedophile exactly one time in the entire song.
Right.
And it is actually plural. It's not pedophile, it's pedophiles. Right. And it's connected to the line that starts with the word, they tell me.
Yeah.
They tell me Chubbs only want to get his hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case. Why is he around certified? Lover boy certified. All right. So both times, and the one where he said, "Say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young," that was the only time he said Drake's name in that song.
Yep. Then he started talking about other motherfuckers.
The only 2 times that he has made a reference to either Drake or a PDF file, those lines both started with, respectively, I heard and they tell
me. Yeah.
So
what are you talking about?
He did exactly what you said he should have done.
So again,
and when the nigga brought it up, he never even responded.
Nope.
When the nigga was like, he did say that, Gilbert just kept going.
But see, that's something I see that's common too with this situation. Like a motherfucker will throw in this fact that disrupts all of your line of reasoning. And what they'll do, instead of having an answer for it, is filibuster to continue to pettifog the whole thing and hope the audience didn't hear.
Right.
It remind me, what's the dude from the Eternals? Karnak. Karnak has the ability to find the exact stress fracture anywhere, hit right in that spot, and break all of that shit down. That's literally what he did when he said he did say that, though. That's literally it. And dude tried to loud talk him to bury the fact that, your argument is specious and invalid.
Thanks. Oh, thanks.
GA says Gil knows nothing about hip-hop. He's not tapped in at all. They only talk about hip-hop because Joshua, the host, is tapped in and knew they'd get clicks from it, basically. You see a lot of that happening in the podcast space, too. And once they see, this got legs, we're going to talk about it. Inhumans. Right. Thank you, Cindy. Inhumans.
Facts. All right. Next point. J. Cole. First of all, I'm seeing way too many people shooting J. Cole way too much bail.
I saw it.
Not over here, my guy. So what happened with Cole is a lesser offense.
Yes.
But more than one person can commit an offense at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to that. Cole's behavior with this beef was actually consistent, believe it or not. Some won't admit that.
Right.
With how he's behaved in the past with rap squabbles. And he just kept getting a pass before, mainly because the things didn't get as big as this one did.
Yeah.
That shit with No Name didn't get as big as this one did.
True.
That song that he made about Kanye, because Kanye never responded, did not get as big as this one did.
True.
The whole, I'll argue the one time it did get close to being as big as this was the whole KOD thing. He did a whole album called Kids on Drugs, where the original premise was him talking about the mumble rappers.
Yep.
And then immediately after, he started interviewing them and talking about he ain't mean no harm and all this other bullshit. This is Cole's pattern at this point.
Yeah.
That is who he is.
That's who he is.
Let's stop the bullshit. This has nothing to do with his skill. For anybody, because I hate people that go too far in the other way. Stop trying to overcorrect. J. Cole is one of the most talented individuals to ever pick up a pen.
Right.
In the history of people or pens. We're not going. J. Cole is, and I'm not talking about rap either. I'm talking about putting words together in a creative way.
Right.
Whether it's singing, whether it's poetry, whether it's being an author, J. Cole's probably in the top 10%.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even say probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In human history, Cole is in the top 10% comfortably of individuals that are talented and have picked up a pen for any creative process.
Right.
We're not doing that. The issue that we have, matter of fact, Just Chris made a post about this the other day because it was people that was talking about how wide the gap is between Kendrick and Cole, blah, 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 blah. And they were talking about skill. And I said to Chris, the gap is wide between Kendrick and Cole, but it has nothing to do with skill. Absolutely nothing to do with skill. Hip hop heads are going to say the gap is wide because of a very specific thing. Right. It has nothing to do with how skilled Cole is. It's just like we said earlier when I read that tweet that said somewhere right now J. Cole is writing a verse that I do not want to hear. It's because the verse is going to be fire. We know the verse is going to be fire. It's just what the subject matter is going to be and how he's going to respond to what is going on. We don't want to fucking hear it.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you made that distinction too, because what they do is they try to obfuscate what we're actually saying.
Yeah.
By saying, but he got bars. We didn't say he didn't have bars. Nobody said he didn't have bars.
Yeah. No, it's not an argument anybody's making. Anybody in good faith is not arguing that J. Cole can't rap. Right. What are you talking about?
Right.
So I don't subscribe to the idea that a second person violating erases the first person. Neither. That's not how that works. I don't subscribe to the idea that a person apologizing gets them away from the consequences of their action either.
I don't either.
That's not how this shit is supposed to work. Some of y'all, because of whatever journey y'all might be on in life, y'all feel like the whole forgiveness thing is more whatever, blah, blah. That's cool. Forgiveness is important, but that y'all thinking of forgiveness in the wrong way.
Also, some of you motherfuckers are abusing therapy, speak, concept, all of that shit, and trying to throw that into this conversation.
Facts.
And what we are saying to you is, stop.
This ain't that.
Stop it. This is not that.
It's not that. All right. Next point and final point. Lil Wayne. Now I know this has nothing to do with the legal action, but let's be.
It's still part. Yeah,
it's involved.
It's involved.
Let's be fucking for real here. Again, I'll reiterate. Lil Wayne has a track record. Remember last week we was talking about the whole thing with Kendrick is publicly because he did used to battle rap, but outside of that, right? Publicly, there was no track record of him being in beefs. That's not the case with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne has a track record. His track record just isn't great.
Yeah.
It's kind of terrible. He got washed by Gilly. He got washed by Push.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He's actually even on video admitting that battle rap is not his thing.
You know what I find crazy, not to cut your wisdom though, is that people who should know better have conflated the fact that Wayne can rap with Wayne being a good battle rapper when we have evidence to the contrary. And some of these people are battle rappers.
Yeah.
That's disturbing because this is the second time you motherfuckers seem unaligned. A lot of you were unaligned with the Drake Kendrick shit that's going on, and now you're unaligned with this shit. That's weird to me. That's very weird.
Well, I mean, it's funny that you use the word aligned because their allegiance is showing.
Oh,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is. You're biased as fuck. Because if this was Joe Schmo and all the other facts were the same, you wouldn't have this take. Mm-hmm. That's not how this works. You're only saying it because it's one of your favorites.
Remember that battle that happened this year between these two relative unknowns? And dude start talking about he looked like Sway in the morning and all of them shit. When you're not biased towards any MC's body of work, relationship you have with them, opportunities available, you clearly saw who won that battle. And it's not that the other dude wasn't spitting. He was spitting.
Thanks.
You can watch that shit without having the burden of past history influencing how you think about strictly the performance in the bars. And everybody clearly saw who
he fucked him up.
He fucked him
up. From
the
energy to the bars to everything.
Fucked him up, bro.
Was standing up over this nigga pointing at him.
My God. He fucked him up, bro. The problem with two established artists is that they come with the bias and the baggage of their fandom. So we can't really get. I'm glad I wasn't no strict fan of either one of these niggas. Like, I leaned towards Kendrick's methodology more, but I wasn't running out here playing his music like that.
Yeah. So again, things. Here's the other problem with the whole Wayne thing. Here's a short list of things that would be easy to go at Wayne for if you happen to be Kendrick Lamar Duckworth.
Oh shit.
Lil Wayne has said racism is over. Lil Wayne has a line in the song that says, "Beat it like a cop. Emmett Till, baby, I'll beat it like a cop." Lil Wayne has said Black Lives Matter, don't got nothing to do with me. I matter, my bitches matter. Lil Wayne said the only people that have had a problem with him has been black people. Lil Wayne has a line that says, "Beautiful black women, I bet that bitch look better red." There was the thing about Lil Wayne getting his girl took from him by Drake while he was in jail.
Yeah. Wayne shot himself.
There was a thing about Birdman, the whole kissing thing. There was a thing about Birdman holding up the Carter 5 album.
Holding that man.
There was a thing about Birdman stealing millions of dollars from Lil Wayne. And I'll just stop right there. The list goes on.
The list goes on. It's too much ammo, B. For a guy like Kendrick?
Yeah. Like, what are we talking about?
A guy like Kendrick with this who raps about the stuff he raps about, to have this on somebody.
Yeah. It's suicide.
He had that man looking like Steven from Django.
Bruh.
In one song.
It's a kamikaze mission. What do you know?
That's
the definition of a crash out. Yes.
A crash out.
It's like, no, this is not what you want. This is why, like I said, this is why Wack 100, for all the issues that Wack might have.
Yeah, believe me.
One thing that you cannot say, because there's proof, you cannot say that Wack isn't connected.
Wack's very connected.
You cannot say Wack don't got no pull.
Yeah.
Wack got pull. And Wack, like I said, Wack, according to DJ Head, who was on the ground in this shit, because him and Kendrick are actual friends.
Yes.
They have been friends since before Kendrick was signed.
Yes.
So he says he talked to Wack. Matter of fact, he called Wack. Why? Because he got the show with Elliot Wilson, Jeremy Hecht, and DJ Head called The Bigger Picture.
Right.
On the show, they were talking about the situation, and he was about to address it. He said, "Wait, let me make a phone call." He called Wack. He said, "Yo, can I talk about the shit that we talked about in the phone call?" Wack said, "Yeah." He said, "The reason I called Wack is because everybody know Wack stand on whatever the fuck Wack say.
Even if it's wrong as a motherfucker."
Yeah, even if it's wrong as hell. If somebody approaches Wack about some shit he said, yeah, I said it.
Right.
I said this. So he said that's the reason I called Wack, because there are several conversations that have happened, but I know that I'll be able to talk about this one because Wack wouldn't care.
Right.
He said Wack called Mac Main and told him, "Tell Wayne, this ain't the one. Don't do this.
Don't.
It's not worth it."
But I gotta say, us being hyenas.
Oh no, I want it.
We thought of
listen. Facts. No. I wish that phone call never happened.
Yeah.
No, we not. I want the lighter flick.
Say something.
Because
say something.
No, the closest thing we have. Matter of fact, for anybody who's interested, and this is not an exact science because none of this shit is. A lot of it is subjective, but there ends up being the consensus most times. And the consensus comes from the authority, not the popularity. So let's be clear on that one. But anyway, go listen to Mona Lisa. Lil Wayne song with Kendrick on it. Go listen to Mona Lisa. Wayne was spazzing.
Yep.
But then Kendrick started rapping. I'm not even gonna cloud your opinion. Go listen to it if you care to listen.
You also know that a lot of people before this beef that are speaking on this didn't really listen to anything Kendrick did before. Because
Absolutely.
the way they're talking about this new style that
one of my most annoying things, even like as much of a hip hop head as I am, the thing that annoys me the most about this is motherfuckers just being disingenuous.
Yeah.
Because like if you like Drake better, you like Drake better.
Yeah, that's fine.
Again, there's a subjectiveness to this thing that can never be discounted because at the end of the day, we are talking about how much you like something.
Right.
That you can't put facts to that.
Right.
You can use facts to support it, but you can't.
But you can't do facts to that. Some of that stuff is intrinsic. Yeah.
Right.
To who you are.
So this idea, Kendrick, this is the first time Kendrick ever really talked about the West Coast. Let me go back over Kendrick Lamar's fucking discography. His first project, Section 80, which is a direct reference to the section in Compton where he lived. Second, Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh my, come on.
Fuck is the city that he's talking about,
bro.
He's talking about the city of Compton, right?
Well, which one of you mistook Kendrick for anything other than a West Coast? Y'all motherfuckers is crazy, man.
Then you have going away from album titles, it's people talking about, he wasn't rapping with West Coast artists, blah blah blah. Every Kendrick project has at least one member of Black Hippie.
I hate you, motherfucker.
Who are Black Hippie? J-Rock, Ab Soul, Schoolboy Q, Kendrick Lamar. All of them are from the West Coast. Well, Schoolboy Q is not from, I don't think. He moved to the West Coast young or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Don't quote me on that. But they are all West Coast rappers.
Yeah.
They're all West Coast rappers.
It's literally why Pac is considered a West Coast rapper.
Right. Who was the main person who sings, the main woman who sings on Kendrick Lamar songs? SZA.
Yeah.
She is TDE. I don't think she's actually West Coast. I think she's
I don't think she's West Coast either. But she's signed to that. This is why people look at 50 the way they looked at 50 the way they looked at 50 for all those years.
Yeah,
because he was signed with some Midwest slash Dre shit. Come on, man.
Thanks. So then again, he ain't been talking about this since blah blah blah. King Kunta in that video. These niggas is walking. These niggas is flagging. It's a decidedly West Coast beat.
Yeah.
That's from like 2015.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
I'll tell you what we talk about. We talk about motherfuckers being disingenuous. We talk about motherfuckers who either don't know, don't show, or don't care about what happened.
All facts. Like, that's the part that burns me up the most about all of this. Why you ain't got a lot of kids.
There's another part of this that I know burns you up too. We've talked about this before. Y'all try to act like Kendrick was some small regional artist before this beat. You motherfuckers are the worst.
This nigga got #1 records.
Come on, man.
Now, plural #1 records.
Come on.
Several. Right?
Come on.
His highest selling pieces of music before Not Like Us have nothing to do with Drake.
Nothing.
Y'all were trying to push that narrative before Not Like Us came out. Y'all
Yeah, that man ain't sell one album until he beef with Drake.
That's the other thing. He did not put Not Like Us on this project that he just released.
Nope.
That shit went dummy.
Yeah.
Is it possible he's gonna put it on the next thing?
Probably.
Yeah. And I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, I would.
It would make sense. But I can also see a timeline where he doesn't.
Yeah, it's standalone, nigga. It's standalone.
Facts. So it's like, y'all, it's difficult. It would be, because again, I don't do that no more. That retired with my old Facebook page. But it would have been difficult arguing with you niggas about this shit, because what are y'all, like, y'all don't even know what y'all talk. Y'all don't make any sense. Like, it's clear when somebody has not listened to a rapper, but they try to tell you.
And those of us that have been involved with hip hop for a lot of years, we've actually seen a variation of this phenomenon before. We've seen the more pop-friendly artists beefing with the slightly less pop-friendly artists. Like when Run DMC was beefing with Hammer. Mm-hmm. What you would see from the seriously Hammer fans would try to discredit Run DMC, like, see, these underground rappers don't get it. This is Run fucking DMC who was doing all of this shit that you motherfuckers were doing first.
Yeah.
Movies.
Facts.
Grammys. All of the shit that you motherfuckers did. The blending fusion of hip-hop with other genres. They was doing that with rock. This way. They were doing all of that shit, world tours, before any of you.
Yeah.
But when you don't have the context, because you're not really of the culture, you see the flashiest, most talked about currently artists and say, oh yeah, there's other people that saying something. That's Run fucking DMC, you noob.
Right.
You fucking rube.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Stop it, B. And so we've seen this before. And we've seen the fact that we're not going to argue that Drake was the shiny beacon for the longest time.
Yeah.
That don't mean Kendrick didn't have light.
Right.
He absolutely had light. He sold a shit. Bro, other artists, underground artists, that haven't really sold a lot of their music, just happenstance. Would you not trade where you were able to get to where Kendrick was able to get to before this beef? Before this beef. Of course you would. Are you fucking insane? How many records has Kendrick sold?
Not even that, because it would be difficult to parse before the Drake thing. Let me read this. Kendrick Lamar has made an indelible mark on the music industry. Renowned for his lyrical genius and profound storytelling, his influence extends far beyond the boundaries of hip-hop as he continues to push the envelope with every release. Recently, let me see, is there a date on here? Mm-hmm. There is no date on here. But that doesn't matter, because it proves the point we're making. Recently, Lamar's critically acclaimed album, Good Kid, Mad City, has reached a notable milestone, underscoring its enduring legacy. Good Kid, Mad City has achieved a remarkable feat by remaining on the Billboard 200 for 12 consecutive years since its debut in 2012.
Right.
This accomplishment highlights the album's timeless appeal and significant impact on hip-hop history as one of the longest-running albums on this prestigious chart. It stands as a testament to Kendrick Lamar's artistry and the album's deep connection with audiences worldwide. It has maintained its presence amid evolving musical trends. The album's narrative and themes continue to resonate across generations. It serves as a benchmark for both established and emerging artists. In addition to its chart success, he's continued to garner recognition at the highest levels, blah, 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 blah. The rest of that isn't Yeah, the rest of that isn't relevant. But this album that he put out in 2012 entered the Billboard charts when it came out and has not left. But Drake.
Yeah. Y'all
Now,
motherfuckers have
somebody
a dose of recency bias.
Somebody that's arguing in bad faith might be, well, Drake was on that album. Okay. Drake was on one song on the album. Yes, he was.
Hold up, but at the time, let's just say, for the record, before you give Kendrick all this credit, Drake was on Earth.
Right.
Oh, you know what? You got a point.
It's like,
there.
Bro, what are
Drake
we talking
was on
about?
Earth.
Sure, Drake was on Good Kid, Mad City. Cool. That's one. Matter of fact, let me see something.
So I'm looking at this. This is from a day ago. It's saying that the GNX album thus far has been a major success. In fact, 8 songs from the project are expected to land in the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 song chart, with Squabble Up potentially coming in at number 1. Squabble. It's also reportedly projected to have sold between 310 to 325,000 in its first week. I literally saw a motherfucker who claims to know anything about this shit when this first disc dropped. I think he's gonna do about 100 the first week. Like, all right, yo. All right, yo. All right.
So listen. This shit's crazy. This puts this a little bit more into perspective. Mm-hmm. 2012 year-end chart performance for Good Kid, Mad City. U.S. Billboard, number 80. U.S. top R&B and hip-hop albums, number 16. 2013 year-end. U.S. Billboard, 24. U.S. top R&B hip-hop albums, 7. So it went up. 2014 year-end. 69 and 27 respectively. 2015 year-end, 72 on U.S. Billboard. 2015 year-end, 72. 2016 year-end, 85. 2017 year-end, 100. 2018 year-end, 89. 2019 year-end, 119. 2020 year-end, 86. 2021 year-end, 53. 2022 year-end, 25. So in 2023 year-end, 30. In 2022 and 2023, which is before this goddamn explosion of the beef happened, Good Kid, Mad City, that came out in 2012, at the end of the year for 2022 was at number 25 on the chart. At the end of the year in 2023 was at number 30 on the chart. What the fuck are we talking about?
That's why, like I said, man, the people who are trying to rewrite Kendrick's career as him being some underground regional rapper who people only found out about him because his beef with Drake is one of the wildest forms of gaslighting I have seen in music for a long time. This nigga literally did the Black Panther. You know what? Y'all motherfuckers are just wilding right now.
Yeah. All right, so singles from that time frame when the album came out, 2012. The song that Drake was on is Poetic Justice.
Mm-hmm.
It
named after a Pac movie.
That's funny. That's facts. It peaked, as far as singles, it peaked at number 8 on the U.S. hip hop and R&B chart. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe was peaked at number 9. Swimming Pools peaked at number 3.
Right.
Swimming Pools does not have a feature.
Right.
Swimming Pools is just Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. The reason that I'll give the outside. Matter of fact, a part of the reason that Poetic Justice hit number 8 was because of Drake.
Of course,
that's not. Yeah,
that's not debatable.
Clear. Yeah, that's not debatable. And a part of the reason Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe hit number 9 was because there was a remix that came out with Jay-Z on it.
I did a mixtape version using that beat too, by the way. Me and the dude named John.
Yeah.
And did a music video. It's no longer on YouTube though.
God damn it. Yeah. So as far as US rap chart, he has 1, 2, 3.
Cindy said, I like people thinking Kanye made Beck famous. People are stupid. They are, they really are.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, the point is, you're wrong.
You're dead ass.
That's the point. That's the point. You're wrong. This isn't one of those subjective things. You are incorrect.
You are incorrect, and on top of that, it makes you look worse because this is easily checkable.
Yeah.
Because there are dates.
Yes.
You can literally cut shit off at dates. So yes, you can say, all right, so a lot of his shit went up because of the beef. Added more interest to his shit. That's possible, but we can still check the dates from the previous year.
Yeah,
and see where it was at then. Like, he wasn't some relative unknown regional rap. Y'all are bugging. Like, there, you know how many rappers are not in Kendrick's league as far as name recognition, branding, saturation. Long before this.
Yeah,
there's a ton of rappers that y'all glazed that ain't where Kendrick was then.
Thanks. All right, enough of this. Weekend review.
So, I'll go first. Not just this week, but the previous week. I haven't been having good weeks. Yeah. And I mentioned it last time, and that's probably the same. It's the same thing now, where my wife going through this episode of pain that she's having affects me. Because I hate to see her like that. So I haven't been sleeping because she hasn't been sleeping. This is what we kind of alluded to early on in the show, where SPJ did a little yawn thing, right? There are things happening from going back and forth to the ER, to having to deal with pain medications not working, to having to deal with fucking doctors in this system. It's just the culture here in the for healthcare is whack. It's super whack, and it put me to mind of people who live elsewhere telling me about them having doctors that be doing fucking house calls that hit them up on WhatsApp. Somehow, I'm just following up on you, good, but provide us that in the third. And somebody can make the argument, oh, well, these are countries that are smaller and have less. No, country is just smaller, but has access to the same type of medical care that we have here. It's the way the system is set up. And it sucks because what it wound up doing in this particular case is having my wife be in pain for 2 weeks without redress. Exactly, Cindy. It's horrible. Right? And I have to sit and watch this. I can't do shit about it. To see her going through this shit. If this was a motherfucker I could fight to make her feel better,
sure.
Bah, bah, bah. You know what I'm saying? Right. But this ain't that. This ain't that. The most I can do is make sure she's getting weighted on hand and foot. Like, nah, you ain't got to do that. Got that. Nah, got that. It fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. So we wound up going to the ER again. And there's literally nothing they can do currently. It's nothing they can do. She does have a procedure coming up on the 3rd of December, and hopefully that addresses most of this, right? But right now, there's nothing they can do. And we go there. She's walking around on crutches. Can't really walk without it at this point. So they was like, you want to try a cane? So they gave her a cane. The offer was a cane or a walker, right? So she said, let's try the cane because the cane is less cumbersome.
Mm-hmm.
Those crutches are cumbersome. That cane ain't doing it. We got that shit home. That shit ain't doing it. In retrospect, they could have gave her a walker. See my wife even have to walk around like that.
Yeah.
Right? So because I've been getting any sleep, I've been having to burn the candle at both ends. I've been doing a bunch of writing, mostly comic book shit, bunch of beat making, right? That sort of stuff. Because since I can't sleep, something else that I've seen or noticed about my current behavioral trends, I have to force myself to play video games. Because there will be a part of me that goes, ooh, I kind of want to play the game. But I'm so busy, I said I got to do this shit, then I'll get to it. And by the time that happens, I don't feel like playing. Mm-hmm. I start thinking about the I should never be thinking like this way either. The amount of work it takes to boot up and do all this stuff, I'm not doing that shit. Not doing it. That fucking sucks because there are some things happening in the gaming world that I don't like, but there's a lot of things that are upcoming that I do like and I want to fuck with. But there's something happening now where I exist more in the comic book realm than I exist anyplace else. And that includes hip hop. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't write anywhere near as much as I used to. To be clear, you will always get something from me. Always. It just may not be in the same form or as often because my shit is on other things. Little funny note, though. So a couple of days ago, my wife was coming out of the bathroom, and the bathroom we have downstairs is literally right next to the door that leads outside to the backyard. She heard a bunch of squabbling going on out there. They were squabbling up. She looks out the window and she sees a bunch of squirrels and birds beefing. Shit looked like the goddamn Disney cartoon, right? With all these birds, squirrels out there by that fig tree. Mm-hmm. And that fig tree only had 4 figs left on that motherfucker. 4. They weren't even ripe. Now, if you've been listening to the show for a while now, you know I've talked about how we had the 2 hunter cats. These 2 hunter cats changed the ecology of this neighborhood. Because by them being the ones that go outside and regulate who goes in our backyard and front yard and who doesn't, there was a time where birds would not go into our backyard or our front yard, and neither would squirrels. My mother-in-law used to throw breadcrumbs out there for the birds. It was like, nope. Because one of them little bastards is hiding in the bush. Every time she goes outside, she hides in the bush, waiting to strike. Also, they're not going out the back because the child is out there. As a result of that, the other animals didn't fuck with those figs. Tell you the animal, the wildlife that did. Wasp. Remember when I used to always sit here and complain about the wasp, me going to war with the wasp and all of them shit? Hasn't been like that. And it's not just because I beat their asses. It's not just that.
Okay.
It's not just that. It's because without hunter cats gone, squirrels and other creatures have access to the figs on that tree. So they don't stay on there long enough to get to a point where the wasps fuck with it.
Right.
So we haven't been seeing a whole bunch of wasps around here. But as I said, there was 4 figs left on that tree. So after my wife told me she heard them, looked out the window, saw them squabbling over some shit, I wonder what that was all about.
Battle Royale.
Well, I think I found out what that was all about a couple of days later. I go outside, those 4 figs are gone. No, they didn't drop. No, they didn't all of a sudden ripen. No. I think what took place was those last 4 figs, it was a battle royal, like SBJ said, for possession of those fucking figs. Because when I went out there, they were gone. And they were all in different sections of the tree. There was one at the way top, and the other ones in various different spots throughout the fig tree. These animals around here be bugging. They be bugging. Just this morning, I went to take, it was still dark outside. I went to take the mail that was going out, put it on the front porch because I didn't want to forget about that shit. I go outside and clear my throat and all hell break loose. What the fuck? And I turn around and there's mad deer in my backyard over there by the fence. It's like, oh shit, you gotta get the fuck out of here. Now look, I don't give a fuck about the deer eating. Get your shit. Get your shit off. It's just funny to me how just the clearing in my throat. That shit was hilarious. Now I haven't gone out to see if they did any damage to that fence because the way it sound, like they knocked some shit down. But it was still dark outside, right? So I couldn't really see. I haven't gone out there and checked since then, but nigga.
Nigga.
And I can only imagine, with my imagination, I can only imagine motherfuckers trying to jump over the fence and trip, back leg tripping over the shit, falling down into some shit. I don't know. Other thing about the front yard. A couple of weeks ago, we paid a dude who usually cuts our front lawn to come and take care of those fallen leaves. Now, if it was up to me, I would leave those leaves right the fuck there. Why? Because I was advised by the city we're in, leave the leaves there. They will break down and fertilize the lawn. Mm-hmm. I've already seen an example of it doing that because we did that one time in the back, and there was patches of grass that was missing since we moved it. We did that shit that one time. When spring came back around, that grass was all filled in. Well, I think we may have paid dude a bit too early. Because you see, there's a bunch of fucking leaves on that front lawn now. And it don't come from our tree. Because that tree wasn't big enough to have this amount of leaves twice. So it's obviously coming from some of these other trees around the neighborhood. When it rained real bad and the wind was blowing and all that shit, they just happened to land in our shit. Meanwhile, I'm looking around at the other lawns. Their leaves are gone. Like, hold up, nigga. Hold up. One of two things happen. The wind pushed that shit over here, or y'all. I can't prove it. And that seemed like a lot of work to do.
Yes, it would be a lot of work to do. A lot of the work that nobody in their right mind would do, especially if they got no beef with you.
Right. Right. Other thing I'm pissed off about that happened this week. Across the street from us, the neighbors have, and it's been this way since we moved here, they have a handicap sign right there, so no one can park over there except for them, right? And that's all fine and good. You would have to be a jackass to see that there and then go and park there. You don't live there. A complete and total jackass. I want to make this clear. I am not mad at that woman over there who needs that, have that there at all. She lost a husband a couple of years ago. It's a whole. However, Thanksgiving, I looked out the front and I saw cars parked in front of my motherfucking house. Cars. Now, I've talked to you guys before about how I don't like people in my house. I didn't invite your ass over here, or it wasn't a necessity. I really be like, can y'all niggas leave and shit? But it's Thanksgiving. It just so happened that my mother-in-law invited some of her peoples over for Thanksgiving. Nothing strange about that, actually. Traditionally, it's to be expected for these types of events. People have family members come over and they eat.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get there by the bus, though. They got to drive, which means they got to find a place to park. I would never, ever suggest to anyone that they should park in that lady's handicap spot. And any other time during the year, I wouldn't have had nothing to say. But this is a quote-unquote holiday where families get together. I know you're going to have your people over there, but why would you assume other people wouldn't have their people over their house and they would need a place to fucking park? And you made it so they couldn't park in front of their own house.
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, is the height of being inconsiderate to your neighbors. Now, I've told you guys before, I don't really fuck with my neighbors. I don't fuck with any of my neighbors. I haven't fucked with neighbors since I was a kid. Once I got older, I became more like my mom. I begin to see the value in hi bye. You know what I'm saying? Good morning. Good evening. And that's it. You need some help, we got you. You can live in the same block. But on a regular basis, I don't really have much rep for y'all. Everybody that I give a fuck about is in the same house. All right? I don't really care about none of that other shit. Unless it's an emergency, like I said.
Yeah.
So I don't think I have a beef with you. But I'm about to. Because that need to be addressed.
Facts.
So you already know what's about to happen. A 6'1", 240-pound bald black man is about to knock on the door and say, happy holidays. In the future, we would appreciate on these holidays where families come to see each other, that you would tell the people that's coming to see you not to park here. They can park up the street because, as you know, because you've been through my block, SPJ, there is a strip of the sidewalk that's not really in front of somebody's house. They just have to walk down a little bit. But that's infinitely better than you having family members of yours park in front of my house when I have family members coming over here that need to park too. Especially since your side is off limits because of that handicap sign. I'm not with it.
Nah.
But I have to say this in a certain type of way because, you see, I have a past history knowing that how you say that when you're me, it can be taken a lot of ways. He came over and threatened us with parking space. All right. I've had experience with this before. So I have to modulate tone when I'm talking to them. I didn't have to do this in the neighborhood that I grew up in because we all talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, what's up with this? Get this shit the fuck out of my house.
Thanks.
And nobody took offense. Nobody thought, I should call the police. I just felt threatened. Around here, though, yeah, that's what will happen. It's one of the reasons why I hated when we got a new cat, it got out the house, and it ran on somebody's porch. Because we're going to go over there and get it. First thing they're going to see, 6'1", 240-pound black man on the porch in all black. You know what I'm saying? What's he doing here? Oh, my goodness. There might be trouble. That same week, wifey went and got some Uber Eats. These motherfuckers swore they put it on our porch. No, the fuck you didn't. And there's no excuse because it wasn't dark. And You seen the way our address is on? It's right there. They put it on the neighbor's porch. The neighbors are relatively new people in the neighborhood. I've only really seen them a few times when they had some birthday party in the backyard, or maybe they might go get in their car to go to work or do whatever they going to do. Have not had a conversation with them. Not even a hello neighbor. None of that. But our food was over there. You know what I'm saying? Our food was over there. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that. Now, when I went over there, I walked up the porch. I looked in the bag to make sure this is our shit, and they didn't just happen at the same time to, no, it's our shit. I pick it up. I turn around and leave, and what do I see? A car pulling up. It was some of those neighbors coming home.
Yo.
What do they see? 240-pound, bald-headed black man on their porch with a bag. Now, I guess the proper thing to do would have been to introduce myself and say, yeah, they fucked up, and they will periodically do that here. They'll put your shit on our porch, our shit on your porch. I didn't do that, though. You know why? Because it was cold. So as they got out of the car.
No, don't tell me you just walked by them with how y'all doing?
That's exactly what the fuck
I did.
That's exactly what the fuck I did.
No, yo.
And when I walked by them and said that, I did this. How y'all doing? Because they short.
I don't like you.
I'm sure they don't either. I'm sure they don't
not either. A fan would probably be the best way to put
I'm saying I wasn't questioned further.
I bet.
So
the fuck you mean? You ain't really given the opportunity to do such.
It was cold, man. I'm not standing out there having the car. Look, I did what I said. What I said. Like, it's cold.
That's wild. I ain't gonna hold you. That. Yo, people accuse me of being wild and doing some wild shit. I don't think I would have did that one. I think you got me beat on that one.
It was cold, B.
Nigga,
I don't like that shit. I don't like that.
Nah, nigga, I don't like cold either, but I'm infringing.
I mean, kinda.
Technically I'm infringing.
Yes. But
and I got caught infringing?
My property over here though. So
hey, my peoples, listen. What's going on, y'all? My bad, the delivery driver delivered it to the wrong place. I just got my food. Now, I ain't gonna say I would have stuck around for much.
No,
more than that.
I get you.
But I'd at least said that, my guy. Not just the how you doing?
How you doing?
Yo, no. I'm sure.
I went, how y'all doing?
I'm sure they were confused as fuck. Like,
I'm sure, but I figured by the time they got in the house, they realized that nobody, because it was people.
I mean, if they're reasonable human beings.
Yeah.
Yes. Obviously. But still, nigga.
I'm sure it was confusing. I'm sure it was. Maybe a little startling.
You were not a good citizen in that moment.
Hey, man. But here's the thing.
That's what I'll say. Here's
the thing. If we have another hurricane or something around here and they need help, I got them. I got everybody around here. Absolutely. I've done it already.
100%.
So
100%.
So you gotta
still, my nigga, in that moment, you were not a good citizen, my guy. I just gotta
look. I'm new around here.
They're not though.
I know. Yo, every so often it was the same way when we lived in Laurel. Though at that point I had lived in Laurel for like 10 years or some shit. I still carried it like I was new around. I'm new around. I'm new around here. What you want? I ain't from here. I'm from Baltimore. Nigga ain't lived in Baltimore going on almost 17 years. from Baltimore. What you talking about? That's how we did. I don't know what's worse. Not knowing better and doing that, or knowing better and still doing that. And these are things I have to work out. Agreed. 100% agree. But it is what it is. And that was my week. The floor is yours. So the next time you come over here, if they looking at you a little weird, that's probably
why. Okay.
Hey, question. In your block, are the houses row houses?
Yeah.
A little different when it's row houses. All right, cool.
Oh, no, listen. If for that to happen here, I would have to go into somebody's gate.
Oh.
So, yeah, I would absolutely say something to them if they, but actually, funny enough, we have a similar story. So, basically, because of time, we want to talk about the stuff that was updates to stuff that we talked about last week.
Yes.
So, I talked to y'all about how busy this time of the year is. One of those things was we did this Harbor Dinner Cruise birthday celebration.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah, I don't really have a single bad thing to say about the experience. If I had to nitpick, I would say I hate wearing white, but
I know you do.
That's the extent.
You know, it crossed my mind, right? I saw you.
Yeah,
like that. I was like,
that's the extent of my.
This nigga hates this shit.
Yeah, but the guest of honor insisted we all wear white because that's his favorite color. So fine. Other than that, the food was pretty good. The music was good. The ride wasn't too rocky. Another small nitpick
was it big water? It wasn't.
That was the harbor. It was just
no, it was just dirty.
Yeah, it wasn't really. It was dirty. Right. Yes. So the only small other nitpick was that when we got on the ship, the staff were damn near yelling at us to make sure that even though we had a reserve table, that we should make sure we explore the entire boat.
Right.
That there was nothing to explore, at least from what we could find.
Yeah.
So we were on the main
basically Discord. Basically,
we were on the main floor. Below us was where the bathrooms and the kitchen and all that other shit was.
Right.
Above us was an identical area to the one we were in.
No place to explore.
And that level had access to the outside. But on the outside, there was barely enough space out there for 6 people to stand at once.
Ew.
Right. So it's only a nitpick because it was too cold to be out there for any.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we wouldn't have spent that much time out there anyway. But at the end of the day, it was all fun. I don't know that I would do it again just because of the price of it. It wasn't nowhere near as expensive as that other place.
Right.
But I feel like it was like a cool little novel thing to do. And then like you just to say you did that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I've done something similar. I probably will never do it again.
Yeah, I mean,
I get it.
It was cool. Like I'm not opposed to doing it again. If the shit pop up again, I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe
right.
if I got the expendable funds for this particular thing, yeah, I'd do it again.
Right.
Also, we got our cars worked on. That was mostly a success. So the last time he did our brakes, apparently my car gave him trouble. So this time he started with my car. So while he was doing my brakes and my oil, we went to White Marsh, got some stuff.
Yo, I haven't been to fucking White Marsh
in 34 years. I know.
Close. Jeez.
So we did that. We got some.
Wait a minute. Is it still White Marsh?
Yeah, it's still White Marsh. When we went back, he was almost done. We thought he would have been done. Turns out he kind of made a little bit of a mess with the oil.
With your car.
He had to take.
Well, it didn't affect
the last time. No, actually, it wasn't. It was his fault. The oil spilled a little bit. He took time to clean that up and had to change a little bit.
I'm not surprised your car was involved with the problem because you have the whole Deadpool shit on there, and it literally invokes the energy of Deadpool shenanigans.
Anyway, so like I said, it wasn't an issue with the car, but that was a slight issue because there was a delay, but it didn't affect us.
Right.
But that was issue number one. So we switched cars. He finished mine up. We switched cars. He decided to do her oil before he did her brakes. Here comes issue number two. When Chrissy was setting this up, she asked him what she needed to bring because I was sitting next to her.
Right.
And she was texting him and she told me what he was saying. And I said, tell him to tell you exactly what you need to bring to him so that we know we have everything. He told her what it was. She told me what it was. And I found those things on Amazon. He pulls out the oil and it wasn't the exact oil that the car wants. That was you. You did that. You told her.
Wasn't you? Yeah.
Now, it didn't end up being an issue. The car could still use that type of oil. So again, technically an issue, but it didn't inconvenience anybody. It wasn't really a problem. The last one though. So after he got all the stuff for her car from my car, we decided to go get some food. I forget the name of the place. I think it was Charlie's on the Bay or some shit like that.
Charlie.
It was a nice little spot on the water. Service was good. Food was good.
It wasn't Sandlot.
All right, listen, nigga, hold up. I don't know.
Oh damn.
I don't know. Like, I ain't tried their wings, but we had the crab cake egg rolls, and I had a Baja fish taco.
And it was hidden. Hold up.
It was on point.
What was the name of the place me, you, and Joe went to?
That's the point. That is the point. Them wings, yeah.
Them wings was hidden.
Yeah, I love the point. So we switched. We went to that place. We sat there and ate. We went back. They expected him to be done because last time her car didn't give him no trouble.
Right.
By the time we got back, he hadn't gotten the first rotor off. So he tells us he'll be back because he has to go to the store because one of his tools broke. So he went to the store, gets back, starts messing with it for a little bit longer. Here comes issue 3, which was the only actual real issue. The company that I got the parts from sent me the wrong rotors for Christy's vehicle.
Oh, damn it.
And because he had been working on our cars basically all day, I wasn't going to push him
I feel you.
into doing it that day because you could tell that nigga was tired. He'd been working.
Yeah. I mean, he spilled a lot of oil. It's a lot of work.
I mean, listen, regardless of what happened, it happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, your HP is your HP.
That's a fact.
So I could tell he was tired. And it was getting dark.
That's reading the room.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a lost art, bro.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a motherfucker going up on somebody's porch taking their shit and then not saying nothing when
nigga. But again, like when he went to the store get the tool, he got a flashlight and everything, trying to finish. I'm like, bro, it's getting dark out here. I know you're tired. Like, we just gonna order the right one and leave her car here, and we're gonna send the right one to you so you can go ahead and fix that. I think you said you finished yesterday, so shortly after this, we're gonna go get her car. So that's how that. Oh, and then also I was supposed to get my tires yesterday, but because of the holiday and all that other shit,
they was just too tired.
Shut up. No, the shipment got delayed, so I'm doing that next week. All right, so this last thing. Oh, actually, not last thing, but
yeah, you cooked for Thanksgiving too, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that too. Shit, that's why I said it's not the last thing, but the last thing from last week update. I told y'all about the whole mattress thing, getting a new mattress.
Side. Yes.
Shut up. Well, we got home from getting the car worked on, and we was chilling. It was like an hour or so after we got home. Something was just like, yo, check your email. Like, okay. Check my email. And I had a mattress from the company that we bought the mattress from saying that my order had been delivered. I'm like, okay, good shit. Right. So I get up, walk to the back door, look out the window. Ain't no package. I opened the door just to make sure.
It was on your neighbor's foot.
Shut up. I opened the door just to make sure. Nope, no package. All right, I went to the other door because sometimes it's very rare, but sometimes some idiots put stuff in the front for some reason.
It happens.
Around here, it doesn't make sense to do that, but it is what it is.
Right.
Why would you do extra work? You can't drive up to my front
door,
drive up to the back door. You're going to get out and then walk around. All right, whatever, fine. So I open the front door, no mattress. All right, bet. So I went back to the email. It had the right address on it. Mm-hmm. It had the tracking info. I clicked the tracking info. I saw a photo that my mattress was delivered. Okay. The problem is it was delivered to the wrong house. It was delivered to a house that I don't fucking live in.
Yeah.
So the crazy part about that was it was delivered like 10 minutes after we got in the house.
Oh.
Chrissy saw the notification for the Ring camera, but when you look on the Ring camera, it is the picture of the FedEx truck driving into the problem with that is that FedEx truck did not get out of that truck and bring a mattress to my house. Oh. That FedEx truck, the time on the Ring camera for that FedEx truck pulling into our court was like 6:55. The time that it says the mattress was delivered was 6:50. So that means you put my mattress at a different court before you came to my court. Yep. Okay. So, nigga, 90% of your job is making sure that you match the label on the package to the address where you leave it. That is 90%. So there was a link to report the missing package. I filled that out. It said they will get in contact with you. I filled that out. There was never a confirmation. So I said, chat. It was, of course, one of the ones with the canned responses. They told me to call. I said, okay. I called. Of course, they're closed.
Of course they're closed.
All right.
Why would they be open for your ass?
Right. So I called the next morning and explained that even though the person said they delivered it to the right address, I have proof that they did not. They said, oh, I'm sorry. That's not exactly how the conversation went. So I called her and she was like, yeah, all right, cool. Can I get the tracking number? Get the tracking number. Oh, it says this has been delivered. I know that. That's why I'm calling you. Okay, can you give me the right address? I gave her the address. Yeah, that's where it was delivered. No, the fuck it wasn't.
I would have it.
The picture of them delivering it, that is not my house. Oh, okay. I'll update your file with that information. All right.
Excuse me. That's cool. But what about my shit?
Well, it was a part. They had already said they would get back to me the next day. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So next day, it was text updates. It was basically have you found the package? You haven't found the package, blah, blah, blah. That type shit. Right. So I saw Dawn as I was leaving for work that day. I showed her the picture because she lives here and also she's worked here for a while at this particular complex. And I'm like, I showed her the picture. I'm like, do you know whose house this is? She said, no, I don't know exactly whose house that is, but she knew what type of house it was.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, cool. And she's like, you want to ride around? I said, if it comes to that, there might be an issue. Because here's the thing. I'm going to skip a part of the story and fast forward to the part about if I had to take care of this on my own, I might get in trouble.
Yeah.
I might get in trouble because I live here and I work here.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yesterday, I talked to, I got another text message from FedEx. And I'm like, all right, y'all not being helpful. So I called. And they're like, okay, you have to call there's a process that we go through called traceback or some shit.
Fuck that.
But only the person who shipped the package can initiate it. So you have to call them. And I'm like,
wait, what?
So your driver put my package at the wrong place. And I now have to take that up with the people. And they were like, no, you don't have to take it up with them, but you do have to let them know because they have to initiate the process. And I'm like, that's slightly better, but
not really.
Yeah.
It's
like, what
still
the fuck
putting, I feel,
about?
too much of the onus on you.
Right.
You did what you were supposed
I'm not the one that fucked up.
Yeah.
Shit, I wasn't supposed to do nothing. I paid them my money.
That's what you're supposed to do. You paid them the money.
And they did what they were supposed to do. They got it to the shipper.
So
it's on y'all. Like, so
yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. So I called the place. It was like 8:00. I got a message. Oh, we're closed. Blah blah blah.
Keep going.
We're open for the hours between like 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. I'm like, bro, it's 8:00. But I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they're just closed on the day after Thanksgiving, which makes sense. A lot of places are. All right, cool. But I got to work because I actually had to work after Thanksgiving. I got to work. And after 9:00, I was like, you know what? Let me call again. Sure enough, I call again, they answer. I'm like, bro, y'all need to fix y'all goddamn messages because clearly y'all not open at 6 a.m. And that's what that damn voicemail said. But anyway, I talked to them. They couldn't be more helpful. They did. I didn't have no problems with them. It's like, okay, what's your name? Gave them the name. What's the order number? Gave them the order number. All right, cool. It says it was delivered on Sunday. I said, no, it was not. It was delivered. It just was not delivered to me. The picture on the delivery is not my house. I said, okay, cool. We're going to go ahead and reach out to FedEx and get them to do their investigation on it. And we'll be in contact with you throughout this process and we'll let you know what happens. So just waiting on that to go through. Because here's the thing. It's a mattress. You know you didn't order a mattress. So you should have, and I know this is a lot to ask because why would anybody be a decent individual in a society? Because it's not like you didn't know where the mattress was supposed to go. My name and address is on it. But it's a mattress. You know you didn't order a mattress. You could have taken some step to.
Yeah, it's weird because it's not like a small thing.
No.
It's a fucking mattress, right?
Right.
So it's like, you see this and go, I know I ain't ordered this shit.
Right. So, I mean, but on the flip side of it, I can understand the argument that this is a win for you. Yeah. Right? Because they brought this shit to me. I didn't. Right. Now, I don't know legally how that works.
That's a good question.
I don't know legally how that works, but I can understand the argument. I ain't completely mad at the argument.
Is it the same as if a company sends you something you didn't ask for?
Right. I don't know. If I had to imagine, I would imagine FedEx has some type of protection.
Yo, I just saw this. The drummer of My Chemical Romance, he died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn.
44.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Stupid. So yeah, that was that situation. I'm waiting back.
I'm gonna look that up now, right? Not now, but I'm going to be like, what is the responsibility of the person who got the delivery that didn't order it. It was just brought to their house.
Right.
Like, can they keep it? Can they? Do they have to give it back to the such and such? And is the onus then on the people that delivered it to have to compensate for whatever that was?
Right.
I'm interested in seeing with that because we get a lot of shit delivered to us, and then inevitably they wind up putting them in the wrong fucking place, right? And it hasn't happened yet, but can they just decide, oh shit, this mine now. You delivered it here, so it's mine.
Right. You know. I mean, honestly, because of how I feel about corporations, I feel like that should be no sweat off the person back.
Agreed.
Like,
I kind of agree with
it's me because I want my shit, but still.
Right.
Like,
no, but
I feel like that should be no sweat off the person's back. They had one job. Again, 90% of their job is matching the label to the place they leave it.
Facts.
So what the fuck? And there is there? I don't even think there's another court in this property that begins with M. My court street begins with M. I don't think any other property in this any other court in this property begins with M. So
right.
Yeah, no.
So Discourse says if a FedEx driver mistakenly delivers a package to your house that is not addressed to you, you are not legally entitled to keep it. And he said, here's how the situation is generally handled. He said, oh, sorry, ChatGPT. Yo, it's crazy that you did the search on ChatGPT because I was literally over here doing the same fucking thing. Right, so is that for food deliveries too? Like,
I mean, I don't think anybody would go that far for a food delivery.
I don't think so either.
Nah, mattress is a little expensive.
Yeah, nigga, and takes up a lot of space.
Facts.
Right.
So anyway, moving on. Thanksgiving, we hosted. My first time hosting. Everything went fine. It was great.
Did it?
Good time was had by all. I ain't gonna hold you. The only issue, can't remember who asked me. The only issue that I ended up having was space, and not for the people, because the amount of people was fine. It was the food. Where the fuck are we gonna put all this food to serve it?
Yo, and
we barely made.
The crazy thing for you to have that problem is it's not really a problem. You could have just took the shit up here, and then you got plenty of space.
No, that's not really how that worked. No, that would have introduced a whole nother set of problems. But yeah, no, that was the only real issue that was a hindrance. Like, all right, cool, we got this out. Oh shit, this is still in the oven. Where can we put this?
Oh damn.
But
wait a minute, you hosted it so that your crib. You mean to tell me that your kitchen counter area isn't big enough?
Here's the thing: I don't have much counter space. My kitchen is huge.
No,
that would have made a bigger problem because then there wouldn't have been any place to put the table.
Oh.
So yeah, because I was thinking about it, because the plan is to get an island, but after doing that, I'm like, all right, well,
no, just go get a 6-foot table. Fold-up table.
No, that's what we have. We have the fold-up table. But that's not going to stay there permanently. So basically,
True.
I think the idea is to get an island that has wheels on it.
So
we can move it out the way. So that's for the future. Like I said, it was a success. Everything went good. So that was absolutely amazing. And then this last thing, it's about work. I would like to make another case for UBI. And to take another opportunity to turn what might seem like ageism or ableism into bashing this country that we live in. So everybody in the company who has access to our work order system, as well as everybody who works in the downtown office, has a username and password. You can make your password whatever you want. Your username is default. We give you your username, but you can make your password whatever you want. But at the end, there's a formula. We require a specific combination of special character and a specific number at the end of all passwords. This lady has somehow forgotten her original password to the point that we have a special one for her. So her password does not match the convention of anybody else's password in the company. I didn't know that at the time when I was bombarded by her as I entered the building. She couldn't log on to her computer. I told her I couldn't really help her because I didn't know her password.
She said, but your IT.
Nigga. So she told me her password. Well, she told me what she thought her password was. 2 problems here. She's not supposed to be telling me her password.
Yeah.
But also, as I just alluded to, it was not her password. So I incorrectly told her that what she told me couldn't possibly be her password because, again, I didn't know she was given a special one.
Right.
And then I told her she would have to wait for my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, to come in. I texted my supervisor and my supervisor to give her a heads up. She informed me of what the password was. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went back to talk to the lady. I told her what her password was, but she had now forgotten what her username was. Let me just say that in my opinion, in my estimation, the chances of a person with a sound mind forgetting their username at my job might be about 5%. And even that is, I feel like, me being charitable. Because again, of what the usernames are, it's damn near impossible for you to forget your username. There's only 2 choices. And before a certain point in time, even if you somehow manage to forget your username, everybody around you would know your username.
Oh, damn.
Because it's that default of a thing.
Right. Oh, it's like, okay, got you.
But recently something has been happening, so there's an alternation on that. So your new username could only be one of 2 things. But I don't know if her username has been changed or not. So I'm relying on her to say to me what is going on, whatever. Yes, they have to use their username and password every day. It's kind of a part of the point that I'm making. So your username could have been only one of 2 things, but you don't know which one it is, or at all, if it is anything.
Right.
So I'm like, all right. So there were, like I said, there's only 2 things that could possibly have been in an effort to try not to lock her account. I texted my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, back to ask her which one of the 2 things was her username. She got back to me. She told me. I went back downstairs. We got her logged in.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That actually happened the week before last. So when I came in Monday, we had the same problem. Now, this lady isn't that old, but if UBI was a thing here, she would not still have.
She could go home
in order to get by in life.
Yeah, she could go
all
home.
The time she's put into contributing to the country should allow her to be able to leave her job once things start getting to this point.
Facts.
But unfortunately, they don't.
And they probably won't for a while until AI just is able to do most things.
Right.
You're not going to see it. And you may not see it then because instead of it being abundance, we might go the dystopia route. So,
yeah.
And I don't know what your bet's on, but.
I mean, you do. You do. You know. But yeah, like I don't, like, man.
Miss Ma'am.
I know this is not your fault. That does not make it any less frustrating.
It's frustrating, and also there's problem-solving issues.
Yeah.
Here that you still may not be able to because of age.
Yeah.
Whatever. Level of awareness of how to do. The fact that you didn't remember your username when it's
that's crazy
standard there.
Yeah.
That's the part.
That was the part.
Yeah, that's the part that
not just that she didn't remember her username, also that she didn't know. Like when I said, "What's your username?" She's like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
But in her defense, she's like what 70?
No. I said she's not that old.
So 68 or some shit.
Getting close. No, I don't think she's a boomer.
Hold up, you been telling me she's not even in her 60s?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, it's time.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
which is why I said age and ability.
Yeah, it's time.
So
time for some UBI.
Yeah.
She's obviously worked a lot of years.
Yeah, no, she's been with the company for a hot minute.
Yeah, that too, Discord. Tech illiterate, but I mean, I
think
a
little more than that.
I was about to say, I think illiterate might be wild because
it's a little more than
you don't
that.
know what a username is. Like,
right.
You are literally. It's not even tech illiterate. You're a past temporal tech illiterate.
Yeah, like I'm not. If context clues will tell you that I'm trying not to say certain things, it is not an issue of her not understanding technology. Though she also does not understand technology.
Hold up, but you literally said user name. You're the user.
Right.
The name.
That's not an issue of understanding technology. Yeah, that's something else.
That's something else.
Again, I'm not trying to.
Damn, for several reasons. What you doing?
For several reasons. One, this isn't, like I said, this isn't about her. This is about the country.
True.
Two, I don't have the expertise to
diagnose,
actually say what it may or may not be.
True.
But yeah,
but Discord is right about this part. There's tech illiterate Zoomers. I've met them. Like it's a little unsettling.
Yeah, there's tech illiterate millennials.
Yo, it's unsettling to me because it's like, all right, society is going a specific way.
Yeah.
For people who didn't grow up with some of this shit is almost tantamount to magic.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this tech is black boxes to them. They don't know how it works, how you do the blah, blah, blah. It's magic. You were raised in a certain time period where this, at least the early stages of this tech, was a thing. And you don't know how to use it. It's weird.
An issue. Yeah, it's
weird.
But yeah, that's it. That's all we got.
We want to thank everybody.
Yeah.
For joining us again for another rousing edition of the Black Culture Geeks podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to don't forget, whether it's past, present, future, alternate timeline, alternate reality, there is always music.
Always
music.
Always.
By all means, go enjoy on streaming services, especially with me while it's there. go enjoy. And there'll be new things coming up because there's always new things coming up. Not just from us, also from my man GA, also from Graydon. Also, I'm sure Sci-Fi got something cooking over there, right? C-Gats and SBJ, So, yeah. Also, don't forget to watch my sister, his significant other, Chrissy's Heard It Through the Grapevine podcast.
Yeah, do that.
So now we're speaking about podcasts. Don't forget to go and check out Metas and Meetings with my man Super Side Guy and Hendrick. Also, I decided to let the Black Friday sale last until Cyber Monday. So, if you haven't already, you can get all 3 issues of Extra Pay and Entropy, with the newest one only currently being available as part of this package for $10. Yeah. You're doing that. So, go check it out, majesticcomics.shop.
Yeah.
So for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.